Yo, what's going on, everyone? It is David Palmer, Leo King, and Craig Skidmore here for Deep Love Tarot, your weekly love horoscope and romance reading for the week of May 24th through the 30th of 2021. Here on HighVibe.tv, make sure that you check out HighVibe.tv. Not only will you get all the exclusive content that me and so many others, including we now have Amanda, who is doing tarot and astrology on the app under the weekly section, all on HighVibe.tv. So make sure that you check it out. We also have awesome interviews. We just had Shakti Ma in the house. She was here in the studios. There was some cool, awesome stuff that's only exclusive on HighVibe.tv and many other exclusive, awesome videos. We are producing close to 70-something videos a week on there that you're missing out on. So make sure you check it out, highvibe.tv. All the links are down below. And Purgatory, it's the time, especially with these eclipses and with this Mercury retrograde and with so much going on. If you really want to make sure that you don't end up in Purgatory, or are you already in it, it's a 4.5-hour presentation. And I actually found out some interesting news, which I'll release this week, about deciphering all the works of Dante and how I found somebody who tried to do that in 1814, and it was banned to put out. Nobody would publish it. And nobody else has tried to decipher it like that since that man. And I actually have the book coming from 1888 when finally a publisher decided to bring it out. And there were some crazy correlations that came on after it. Pretty wild stuff. So anyway, make sure that you check out Purgatory. You go to highvibe.tv, click on Purgatory. It's on the top menu bar on your web browser or your mobile web browser. And then, of course, it will go into your apps in your library once you have formed the checkout. Turning it to you, Mr. Craig. How is it going today? Are you feeling this crazy energy that we're going around?
I'm still pretty vibed out, mellowed out from this long weekend, so I don't think all of it's really hit me just yet. I was sitting outside watching the moon come up, and it was big and beautiful. Spiritual dance music, Wednesday?
Yes. I just thought about this. We just did a TikTok how you had a mullet bald. You just climbed the top of Mount Baldy this weekend.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
It just came to me right now.
I was way up in the sky. Way up in the sky.
Why don't you just give it for, honestly, it was a pretty big feat to there was a lot of feet actually. But why don't you just tell everybody? It was pretty I got even sentimental and wrote you a long message in that Instagram post.
I got a little sentimental as well. So on Saturday here down in Southern California, there is a peak called Mount Baldy that's at 10,064 feet elevation at the summit. And so I decided on Thursday, because I was going to go out and visit my cousin and my niece, that I would decide to climb the summit. I haven't really been able to get back into the hiking. Well, I've just gotten back into it. So that was the most elevation climb that I've done yet in the shortest amount of time for sure. So I started at 6,000 feet elevation and I ended at 10,000 feet. Went up on this ridge. It's called the Baldy Bowl. If anybody wants to check it out, it's really fun. 4.4 miles up to the summit and 4,000 feet. I just did it a bit under 3 hours. So it felt extremely good to be out there. It was beautiful. It snowed the night before, so there was some fresh powder all the way pretty much the whole entire way. And, the clouds were rolling in the whole entire time. It was one of the most beautiful sights that I've seen. And I was very appreciative of my body and everybody that's been there to support me throughout this whole year plus of the injury and my treatment. So thank you, David. And thank you everybody else out there that sent that support. It's badass. There'll be many more to come. Now I'm figuring out what the hell my next one's going to be, because I just climbed the tallest one. So I guess I'm going to work my way down and start at the base one of these days and bang out the whole mountain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know what? Y'all should get some fresh air too, if that's your thing, if that's your thing. But it feels good. It feels good. We were talking about it with Shakti Ma, and I forgot how we got into it. It came about cars and changing the oil and all that, and the lymphatic system and getting that pumping. It's very important. We just came out of a year where everybody was kind of stagnant. Everyone was kind of locked in their own zone, locked in their mind, and in kind of a prison inside your house. Well, so now that those freedoms are here, you got to get out and you got to celebrate yourself.
I'm like trying to start the revolution of the people who were not doing that. I'm starting to enjoy I'll just sit here and eat and drink Sprite.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
But some of us didn't follow all that stuff and stayed really busy. That was the busiest year of my life, 2020. I don't know what you were all doing, but you know what I mean? Like,
Well, I was in a prison of my own body. So
Yes,
there's all
that's
sorts.
true.
There's all sorts of prisons that you could be in. You could be in prison of your mind, prison of the soul.
I was in the prison of just being attacked for telling the truth and still am.
Attack.
Okay, I'm going to stop eating and we're going to get down to business. So,
It's game time now. The shades came off.
I feel like a little kid. I'm like washing down my Cliff Bar with Sprite. Let's go into the show. If you never watched the show before, we are going to give you your love reading for the collective, what's going on with the collective, with the astrology, and then use the tarot. And then we're going to go into all 12 zodiac signs by picking from the high vibe
I love gold.
chalice,
Of love and desire and mountain climbing.
which you never know which we're going to pick. And then, of course, for those, we just do the tarot. And then, of course, we also use the astro dice for that. So I say we go into this collective reading. Missing anything else from that? I just say we go into this.
No.
Wash it down with a little bit of Nick.
There you go.
And there we go.
Boom.
So, it's eclipse week, lunar eclipse. We are at just the beginning of this. It's happening in Sagittarius this week. We are in Gemini. And we have a Mercury retrograde that is going to come, stationary retrograde, on Saturday the 29th in its own home sign of Gemini, while it is squaring Neptune in its home sign of Pisces. This lunar eclipse in Gemini is happening at 5 degrees, and with the moon being full in Sag at 5 degrees, squaring Jupiter at 1 degrees of Pisces. So there is a big T-square to this Jupiter. Stories are changing. Stories that, Spirit wants us to go to, and also clearing out the energy of the stories that we're not meant to go towards. This is going to feel like hyperinflation, not only in the economy that we're seeing, but in your life, about the issues that need to be addressed that are just stories that you keep hoping for change, that are not factual or common sense in your life, that you're going to have to get rid of. So when it comes to love, common sense is going to take over. But common sense can be a beautiful thing, right? Like, some things are just like, this makes sense. And then there's some times where it's like, this doesn't make sense, but I hope it'll make sense one day. Those things are going to just be bye-bye. Plus, with Mercury retrograde square Neptune, I think this one's going to be challenging, especially. They are the lord of the signs that they're in. So Venus is also going to meet up with Mercury right before the retrograde. So this is a very powerful week for relationships, not only in the front of the Mercury-Venus conjunction, but at the same time, having this lunar eclipse in a Jupiter-ruled energy with the South Node there, with Jupiter, the dispositor, that's happening to be in Pisces in its home sign with Neptune. This is where we all have to erase what we even believe is possible in many ways, because there is a higher dimensional force at work here for the good that is common sense, that will this is like the most mutable, and remember, mutable energy that we're in is mutative. And so this is mutating. So you might end up with a mutant, but you also at the same time are just mutating your life. You're mutating your love life, and things are mutating into the process. We just had Saturn go retrograde in Aquarius. This is really, I think, an important aspect, because we're not seeing that forward movement of Saturn anymore. It's definitely stopped. And it's more important because I think really a lot of this is Saturn is trying to hold together, like, what pieces of the puzzle make sense, which ones don't. This isn't about fixing things. The belief that you can fix things that are broken at this point, especially with Uranus, it's in Taurus, that's now at 12 degrees. It's squaring Saturn now. Don't have the shattered reality. I don't know how many times, and Craig can vouch for me, I have believed I can fix something and I broke it and fucked it up. It's like, there are so many things that sometimes it's just easier to just fucking realize this is broken. And there's a lot of relationship situations that are overwhelming amount, especially that Mercury is going to give some truth here, but Venus is going to square Neptune too. So you either are listening to the divine this week in your love life and what the signs are, And you're going to have to execute, and you're going to have to do Gemini stuff, which is common sense. And also things that actually are very hermetic and see things from both sides, but also at the same time go, you know what, this is what actually truth is. Or are you playing into the putting your emotions way too far out in this overbelief, you know, that some neurotic vision of yours is going to come true when the common sense doesn't hold any ground to it. There is no grounding in this energy. Zero. It is mutative. It is all over the place. So it's going to be crazy. And all the chips are going to fall where they fall. And the biggest breakup times are eclipses. And I don't know what it is, but the biggest breakups of 2012, which were a lot, was this eclipse cycle. So, you know, just preparing people for that one. And at the same time, too, I feel like there's a lot about the past and the past stories that are either working or not working. That's where it either makes sense and it fits or it doesn't. I mean, this is where you cannot put a square peg in a round hole in a square peg. You can't do anything like that. You can't force anything. Mars in Cancer as well. Trining Neptune this week. I feel like a lot of this energy is you're only going to be paid off emotionally if you really just go to where you intuitively know the divine is telling you to go. And you're going to have confidence and courage and get over being a little bit of a baby or just being a baby. There's a lot of babies out there, a lot of whiners, and a lot of people that I'm going to be honest are weak. And this is going to hit the weak very hard because you haven't listened to the truth. You're not paying attention to the truth. You fell for the propaganda and the story, and you fell for it in your love life too. And so you're going to have some courage to be honest. Truth always wins. And the truth of common sense and the truth of understanding how things either work in the divine or they don't is going to be your saving grace. So let's see what's going to go happen with all of us this week from a collective standpoint with what's happening in our love lives for all of us, and kind of give us the overtone of what we're going to see throughout this crazy wild week. I mean, there's a lot happening in the astrology. It's pretty overwhelming. And it's just the beginning. June looks like the craziest month of our lives, with having a similarity to the craziness of January of 2020. You want to go back to January 2020?
I mean, I'm ready to get weird. Am I still going to be able to get weird?
This is an amazing time to get weird, but you have to know your boundaries enough to not get so weird that we don't lose you to the weirdness and we don't ever see you again and you don't remember you were being weird and you actually become weird. Does that make sense?
It quote the late, great Johnny Cash, I walk the line.
Yes, walk the line, but don't believe that you can cross the line.
What about a nice game of over the line?
No.
No?
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Well, the first card we got is the King of Swords, so we definitely are having to really be clear on what we want and also understand it. We'll get deeper into that. We got the 3 of Cups as our challenge. We do got that 8 of Cups in reverse as the overall. And our way through this is the Knight of Wands. Wow. Okay. Well, you were talking about getting weird. It depends on the kind of weird, right? Like this 3 of Cups is the party card, and that's the challenge. But it could mean this with that Knight of Wands there. It's like, what the real party is the party that's real happiness. Like fake happiness or fake things that are trying to make yourself good in love right now are not going to work. King of Swords, we need to really be very clear. And there's a coldness. Like it's like, number one, King of Swords always asks itself in its truth, is this what I really want? Is this what I really want to go through? And the way that you get to the top to be the king in the swords energy of being intellectual and air is more importantly, not being afraid to talk, not being afraid to be and say what you need, what you don't like, what you like, and what you do. There's a coldness to the King of Swords, but it brings the warmness because you were honest. Now, seeing that overall card that we got here is the 8 of Cups in reversed. That's saying that there's a lot of people afraid to walk, not the line, but walk away. You know, it's always like sometimes circling back, or maybe it could be a past situation circling back, or it feels like something from the past is in works. Could be exes, right? There could be that energy that's like, very hard, or being afraid to become an ex with somebody, right? Like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. Is this a fake party? Is this something? But that Nine of Wands is like, we're going to have to take the courage of our heart, leap for it with what we want. And it's going to have to take a little bit more to understand why we got that Eight of Cups, though. That one's the one that's really getting me. Everything else looks pretty kosher, but there's a lot of fake parties going around. There's a lot of fake weirdness going on. Like, you know, if we're going to talk about weirdness, it'd be like, are you going to do the real weird stuff that's cool, or are you just on bath salts? You know what I mean? Like, there's a difference. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I mean, the bath salts would definitely be, you know,
weird, but not the kind of cool
over the
weird.
Line that we're discussing. So stay away from the bath salts. So, you know, maybe they're all natural remedies. You know, natural in your mind, natural, whatever's natural to you, right? Nature is not always natural, right?
Correct.
Is that what you said?
Correct.
So,
but I mean, when you
there
see
we
enough
go.
YouTube videos of people on the naked on fucking, you know, crazy ass bridges on bath salts, and the cops are trying to tell them to come down, and they go the opposite direction and start screaming. Other things are crawling up their mom's walls, like in a house. Like, I don't know.
Don't do that.
Yeah. That King of Swords popped up because we did get the World card. Wow, these are a lot of powerful cards coming through. I would say that this is definitely us having to understand a complete version of what we want. If we have an incomplete picture in our view of our love life right now, we've got to pay attention to that. Although I do feel like there is an understanding of where that completion is, but you have to be honest with yourself of where that is, what that looks like, and be communicative of it and actually execute it. The reason why that Eight of Cups, I pulled two cards. The Fool card reversed, and wow, the Knight of Cups reversed. You know, this is where we feel really stupid, where maybe we feel stuck emotionally and we're too afraid to make a move away from things that we don't want to be in. It also is, you know, making sure that we're not dumb enough to, I don't know, get stuck in an emotional place that we feel like we're never going to be able to get out of. That could be just the overall theme of what's going on too. People could be feeling stuck in a place where they're like, I don't know if I want to be in this, or I don't know if I want to be here in love, and I'm clear on where I want to go. That Nine of Wands is showing up to be like maybe this isn't the time to make the party out of this. This isn't the time to celebrate like being stuck, but you're going to have the courage to go through with what you got to go through and deal with what you got to go through, wherever that might be. We did get the 7th house as our freaking oracle for the Astro. I can't believe, I mean, this is going to be a powerful week about relationships. You know, this show's about it, but like when the tarot and everything else is aligning with it, Mercury, Venus this week, especially this Venus square Neptune, there's so many aspects. It's pretty intense, but you know, being very clear on the relationship element and what that encompasses and what that world's going to be like is going to be intense and very, very intense. Wow, transformation. I was talking about mutation and transformation together. And this transformation is like having the courage to really find the real celebration in life, the real things that bring us our true happiness. It should feel like we're walking on ecstasy, not eggshells. And I think that's going to be a big difference. Like, this is like, am I walking on ecstasy or am I walking on eggshells? If you're walking on eggshells, there needs to be a change big time here. And that's going to be a very helpful indication. When it comes to the shadow realm, what's going on with the shadow?
It's a lot of shadows right there.
Oh, we got the temple of my body, you know, and this is where the trap is. I almost feel like the embodiment of staying in just physically something because it's secure or it's safe and you're afraid to lose something. Oh, I'd lose my house or we'd lose this. Like, these are traps. There's a lot of stupid traps of feeling stuck emotionally because you're too afraid of what's going to happen to your physical reality. And I think that this is a shadow that's got to come up, and wherever that you're afraid of that, you're not really a lover. At that point, you're not a lover. You've lost the title of being in your heart, and you've become a hoarder, and you've become a hoarder of love for physical items and not for actual love. And, you know, a lot of people do that. They don't want to do love just because they'd rather feel safe in some sort of physical elements of things. And I think that can be very dangerous this week to pay attention to, especially during these times that are trying to mutate and change things. Now, it depends on what mutation you're talking about. I don't know if I'd want the mutation that's going around the other way. And one of my big predictions of this year is this end of this weekend coming into June, we are about to see what those mutations are really on the other side, if we all know what we're talking about, are going to look like. And I'm a little concerned about that stuff. Not even just a little, majorly. What's Ganesh have to say?
Oh, Ganesha, what do you have to say?
Prosperity. Yeah, well, that's kind of interesting. This is a different prosperity of the temple of my body, the shadow here. I think it's like, well, I don't want to lose what I've gained. No, this is about where are you building things that are gaining prosperity. I think that this is not about looking in the past of what prosperity was. I think that this is about looking where prosperity is going, that also the abundance of the prosperity of love life right now in our life is only going to be in the places that we're clear about, that we feel wholeness and completeness with, and that we honestly feel that we have the courage for that extreme transformation into the partnership realm of where we really are clear about what we really want in our worlds and stop denying ourselves of that. Anybody who's going to deny themselves of that has to look in the mirror and realize that they're not in prosperity, but they're in limbo. And so in purgatory. If you are single out there, pay attention. This Queen of Pentacles popped up. Definitely if you're dealing with somebody that you like or anything like that who doesn't have the means when it does come to their self-worth, or they're not able to really kind of like even be able to hold a relationship, like pay attention to that. Stay away from that. If you're dealing with anybody right now who's having financial issues or issues even in their self-worth right now, or even like they're not feeling supported right now and like they're trying to put all their support on you, that's a sign to get away. If you are in a relationship, this is the High Priestess. What are your guides saying about it? Is there a deep spiritual connection between you two? It's almost like there's going to be a message coming to both of you of what to do, and it would feel like it would literally be magic. It would just be like, did you get this message and I got this message? It's going to feel like if it's really in divine play right now, you couldn't fake it. Like it would be like saying the same thing at the same time, hearing the same message at the same time. And that's going to be very important to pay attention to. Our Astro Dice are saying for this week, we got Aries, Mars in the second house. I mean, this is going for exactly only what you want, only what really brings you the value and the prosperity of your identity and what you identify with, and to take every action you can to go towards it, and to realize that this is a time in your life to not fuck around anymore with things that you don't value or things that you don't find that are at the full level of what you really want. It's also a very good week for making love.
Ooh, making some whoopee. Uh-oh.
Yep.
Who's getting laid out there? Is it you? Is it me? I don't know. We'll see. But I think that is a big point in transformation in all of our lives. You know, as we step forward, going through this little eclipse cycle that we all been hearing about here, it's going to be quite exciting, I think. I think there's going to be a lot of people stepping into their new power, a lot of people stepping into their new passions and fighting themselves. And that's only going to flourish on the relationship end. The stronger that you get as an individual, the stronger those relationships and those bonds that you are making are going to be. So keep working on yourself, keep pushing forward, and allow that love and abundance to come and flow into your life, baby.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I'm looking at the, hey, this is live, baby. It's how we roll. It's how we roll.
First one is Libra.
Those lucky Libras.
Those lucky Libras.
You know at least one happy Libra out there.
I know a lot of happy Libras right now.
There you go. Kobe.
Mm-hmm. All right, Libra, let's see what's going on with your love life. Sending you my best for this week. All right. First card that we got here is the Six of Pentacles in reverse. The Seven of Swords is your challenge. The King of Wands in reverse is your overall. And you got the Emperor card as your way through this. Well, Six of Pentacles here in reverse. That's definitely, I would say it's a blessing, because I would say if it was upright, I always say in love readings, I don't like the Six of Pentacles. It always feels like it's, somebody's kind of giving more than the other. Although this reversal is like, what is it that you are looking at a relationship for? You need to understand what that is. And if you're dealing with somebody who's not able to deliver that, are you just going to sit in that crap? I feel like a lot of Libras right now have to be very clear in what they want, because whenever you get the Six of Pentacles, it's like, oh, okay, you're either the one giving and helping with charity, or you're the charity case. This reversal, I feel like, is kind of putting you where you have a choice here. Do you want to be the charity case that's just like, here, have this in the relationship? Or you can be clear about what you want. I feel that because a lot of this is unclarity. This Seven of Swords is always dealing with deceptive energy or questionable energy or being misunderstood in many ways. It also could be like you could be dealing in a relationship where there's a lot of questions that you are unsure of. I think that you're going to have the courage to figure out, what it is that you're having questions about, or why are people having questions about you. This challenge card definitely has to deal with, could be lies, deceit too. I got to put it out there. And especially with this King of Wands in reverse, this as your overall, it makes me feel like having to be extremely clear about what you want and leap for it. But I almost feel like there's some things here that you might not want to hear. But that Emperor is saying, like, you've got to be, again, very clear on what you want. The Emperor is the strongest card of being clear of identification here. So there's a lot about no more playing around with kind of sitting on the fence about a lot of things in your life. And this could just be about like what you want for your love life, or if you're dealing with love, you're going to have to really put your best foot forward, and you're going to have to get to the truth of any inconsistencies or weird shit that's going on, whether it's in yourself or it's in your partner. And especially here with this King of Wands in reversed, the overall here is like stepping into the power of your happiness is going to force you to take more power in your life. And especially I feel like Six of Pentacles, I'll be real, can feel a little bit powerless. So I think that this is you taking your power back in your life of what you want and being very clear on what you want. And there might be some things that are misunderstood if you're dealing with a partner, you're dealing with somebody you're dating with, that you need to be clear on. And you're going to have the courage to bring it up and go forward into it. Whatever is bothering you or whatever's kind of nagging in you or that you feel is kind of an inconsistency or weird. When it does come to that Six of Pentacles, you did pull the Hermit card, the crotchety card. So I got a feeling maybe you don't feel like something's going to be fair this week. You got the Hermit there, the crotchety one, and you got that Six of Pentacles reversed, almost feeling like you're on the wrong side of things. But maybe it's going to be because, you're going to have to look deeper into that. Maybe you're going to have to find better wisdom and have a better look at what's really going on about things, because there's a lot of unsurety here. That Seven of Swords definitely bringing up a lot of unsurety. And I would say that you're going to have to be very smart about things, and you have to really place a better understanding and not just get lost into. That's why there's so much here saying you must be clear on what's going on and clear what you want in your life. I feel like you could be passed over if you're single, or you're not going to get your way in a relationship because you didn't say anything, or you didn't bring out that wisdom, or you were too slow to get there. I mean, especially in love, the Hermit's one of the shittiest cards, I feel. And it's weird that both these cards are one of the shittiest cards, just because that Six of Pentacles reverse is very charity-based. It's very kind of sugar daddy shit, and I feel like, or sugar mama shit. And I feel like, the reversal of that, it's not that, but you have a choice of which direction you're going. And this Hermit's very weird with this. Why did we get that with, the Star card in reversed with the King of Wands in reversed? I got a feeling that you're dealing with, and this could be a very interesting possible story. You're ready to leap forward, but there's something from the past that hasn't been washed away. There's something where you might even Libra have to be coming out with something here. Because I'll be honest, when the challenge is that it's upright, it's Seven of Swords, something doesn't look right. And the Emperor card is to have the balls to bring it out. And I've got a feeling here with the Star card reversed, this King of Wands here reversed, you want to move forward into fresh new energy and to the ultimate happy love story. But there's something here hidden. There's something here that you are processing very deeply of how to move forward with, and you're unsure how that's going to go down. I'm just being real. You did get Jupiter abundance, so I feel that a lot of the expansion in your life is here, and there's a lot of good luck. Even Craig was saying it earlier. I was saying it too. There are a lot of positive aspects. But with this abundance and this Jupiter element, I think that there's a reminder of being honest and truthful, but open to really understanding and knowing with what you want. And I feel that the abundance can only come with what you know. And so I feel like the more that you are honest and the more that you are true, that you're going to learn a lot more, but you're also going to gain so much knowledge and go towards where you want things to go. When it comes to your oracle, you did get the affluence card. So this is definitely making sure that you're paying attention to, the higher vibration that you really want to connect with in your life. And that higher vibration is connected to that Emperor. So whether you're dealing with somebody who has a very strong energy of a high affluence in life, that you got to pay attention to, whether it's the deceptions or whether it's things that you need to say that have been hidden or that they are trying to be. There's a lot of weird shit that needs to come up, whether it's from you or them. And to keep that high vibration, to keep that high energy, it looks like things will be okay, but you're going to have to bring out that truthful energy, and you're going to have to be honest about things, about how you feel or so forth. It's quite interesting. Your shadow that you got here, we did get today for tomorrow, which is always the card that just says, like, today will just be the same as it was today if you just stay the same way. It will only be tomorrow changed if you change today. So I got a feeling like you want a lot of changes, especially here in this row with the Star card reversed and the King of Wands reversed. I feel like it's like you're so close to something so beautiful and so great, but you're going to have to make the changes today that maybe you're trying to push off for tomorrow, and that's not going to mean it's ever going to change till that one day of tomorrow, which could be any day and millions of years, comes where you finally make the change. I feel like that there's a great change for your life of abundance and affluence here for you, but I feel a lot of hesitation. I feel a lot of weird things. I feel a lot of actually the most within you, Libra, of like how to come clean about something, or even just like maybe you don't like something a certain way, and having to have the courage to say it and be it and embody it and be honest about things. There's definitely something weird here going on that you're going to have to confront. What does Ganesh have to say here?
Well, Ganesh.
What is Ganesh? Ganesh is saying blessings. So, woo. I mean, you got a lot of blessings. It's just like, are you going to miss out on the blessings from the stupid little shit, or holding stupid little shit, or not, letting the past go of things that are not blessings anymore? This is about receiving the blessings in your life and taking those blessings on. If you're a single Libra out there, you are dealing with the Fool card reversed. Anybody who's drunk, toxic, stupid, like, don't go into some stupid situation or some drunk fool or some party's fool or hooking with somebody up at a party and start thinking you're going to get blessings from them. The Fool card reverse is the dumbest card in the deck. It is literally the town drunk that is nobody listens to. So Libras, stay away from that energy if you're single. If you are in a relationship, you are with the King of Pentacles. Is definitely about, trying to figure out what to build, what to create, what to move forward with in life, but having the abundance to do it, and what things to actually do with those things, like actually coming into the physical manifestation of things in the relationship, something new. You might be purchasing a home. You could be together purchasing things or creating some sort of thing, or just understanding each other's work. But usually King of Pentacles, I mean, all the abundance is there to create what you two want partnership wise. And also you got to pay attention to if you see somebody as even the attractive part, or they see you as the attractive part, those kind of things have to come up very intensely. If you are watching, we are doing the Astrodice now. We got Cancer here, Jupiter in Cancer, and we did get this in the 5th house. So definitely bringing all the emotions out. The abundance is emotionally bringing every part of your emotion out in your feelings to bring love and happiness and bringing all the joy out. It's like the journey is in the emotional journey of love, and there is a lot going to be of that emotional realm that needs to come out and needs to be shining bright. So if you're afraid of shining your emotional self and your truth bright, you're not going to get the abundance. You're going to have to do that.
Yeah, the abundance is there. The abundance is there when you actually accept it, when you accept the gifts as the blessings. Sometimes we can get a little overwhelmed when things start going right too quickly. We think that maybe we're not worthy for it, or we don't actually put ourselves into the situation in fear of failure, or again, in fear of unworthiness. Not actually allowing yourself to receive the blessings that the world is giving us, that the people around you are giving you. So I think that that's what it is, seeing in yourself that you are worthy to receive the gifts. You are worthy for the abundance. You are worthy for the love that you are searching for, or being single. Whatever it is that you're actually searching for, you're worthy for, and it's fine. Whatever you want, it's fine, because it is your life. It's no one else is living it. Whatever is going to make you happy is what you need to progress, and what you need to proceed, and what you need to go after.
Yeah, be a Libra, not a Libra, is what somebody said. I love that. That's hilarious.
Libra.
We did get Pisces. Pisces are now the next one.
Pisces in the house.
Pisces are in the house. All right, let's see what's going on. I've been, before we were doing this, we were shuffling mad decks around here, and I was shuffling everything, resetting everything.
All the decks.
So let's see what's going on here with those Pisces. First card that we got here is the 3 of Cups. Second card that we got here is the challenge, is the 10 of Wands upright. Well, and we got the 10 of Cups as your overall. Wow. It's a banging reading. And the 9 of Wands there is the way to get through it. Interesting. Really, really, really good reading, but also with like a very stern, look at me, I'm dropping cards. Tons of cards just dropped. And that's so funny. That's a sign. That's a sign of like, look at all this good stuff. Oh, wait, hold on. And this is where it is. Three of Cups. There's a lot to celebrate about the love that you can have and the future that you can have, and especially this overall card of the ultimate abundance of like what we all strive for in love. It is one of the best love cards in all of all tarot, Ten of Cups. But here, this challenge is like, what's the weight that's holding on? If you're dealing in a relationship where there's just so much weight, what are you doing? I think this Nine of Wands is being like, is it worth holding on to? I feel like a lot of Pisces are in between deciding, and I don't care if you're single in a relationship, deciding between two people. I'm feeling that very intensely. That Three of Cups is always like a little bit of a three-way show. Two people that you're kind of enjoying on both sides of the fence on life. And I got a feeling that you're really kind of like weighing out a lot of things and seeing if there's more weight with this person or that person. And then there could even, the other person could just be your own self in the single life. But I feel like that Nine of Wands is kind of showing up here to have your guard up about understanding, like, is this going to be too much for you to hold on? Like, it might be a beautiful thing, but are you able to show up and do it? Don't be also in a Three of Cups state where you're just like over ecstasy about something without paying attention to it. Remember, you are very heavily involved with these eclipses and squared to you, and the nodes squaring Jupiter now. So I just really, that's in your sign. So I just want to remind you, like, overabundance is not a good thing. That there's a caution to this. Can you handle all this weight? And also making sure that you're not lost in like some sort of crazy, love triangle shit. Three of Cups, like that you think is just glorious or fine, or, maybe that's too much weight is holding on to two people. Maybe you're talking to two people, or you're looking at one life for the other. You got to, I think, find where you're going to defend the position that you really want, that is worthy of it in order to hold it. You can't be in a 10 of Cups scenario and have to another person. It just doesn't happen. So that's going to be quite interesting to see how you Pisces are going to deal with that. Why is that Three of Cups coming up here? Our confirmation card that we got here is the King of Wands. Yeah, I think that you have to understand exactly what you want. You just can't keep playing around, playing the field and yourself. You could be even with your lover and in marriage or whatever and playing around, but you can't play around. You just got to be like, this is what I want. I think that Pisces are kind of in between and playing around with all these exciting things. It's exciting, but the King of Wands is only exciting once he got the direction, and he knows the direction, and he knows the love that he wants. The Ten of Cups, you did get the Empress card. I mean, again, the Empress is a Venus card, but she's so singular. It's interesting that we got a King and we got the Empress here. There's a singular element to this. I think that you're making a choice of what side of the coin that you want in two people, or you in a relationship or not in a relationship. And I feel that a lot of this is like, you can create the ultimate life, but you got to make your choice, and you got to make sure that it's not too much for you to handle. If it's too much for you to handle, then you're really not getting what you really want. You're just doing it off kind of blind, like fun, instead of like the ultimate goal. You need to be very aware of what the goal is and where if you can handle the goal or not. If it's too much, it's too much, and it's not for you. There can be too much of a good thing. Believe it or not, you can die from drinking too much water at once. You did get Mercury, the mind. You need to be smart this week. You need to be very, very smart. I think that this is going to be a sobering week. Don't have the beer goggles on or those White Claw goggles on, because I just got a feeling like you got to really be clear right now in your intention and really clear in where you're going. You could also get really lost in like the fun and the glam. And I think that this is where, you can have that fun and glam and it turned out good, but being in a clear space. Like, I think that, if you're in a place where you're just like, and again, the mind is contemplating. So there's so much contemplation. Mercury is going to retrograde this week in your fourth house, it is your fourth house of emotion. You have a lot of emotions that you need to become clear on. And I think that it's a slippery time for you, kind of buying into like the fantasy story too much without making sure your emotions can handle it. Your oracle stuff that you got here, you got Earth, you need to ground. Yeah, you definitely need to get back to Earth here and start to think clearly about this stuff, because I think that if you're going to come at this from like the almighty, I'm higher than life, I feel like I'm on a fucking million tabs of ecstasy. Like, I think you need to remember, like, you're on Earth and you have to go to work and you have to deal with your kids tomorrow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it also is about timing, but I feel that, there is an earthly quality to this. And also, you don't want to jump into something or you don't want to stay in something that's not foundational anymore or doesn't have a foundation, and you're jumping into, I don't know, let's just jump in an RV and go fucking anywhere. Like, I don't think that would be a good thing for you. There needs to be a very solid grounding right now in your life based off this, and you need to pay attention to that. Are you grounded to enjoy the benefits of beautiful life? When it comes to your shadow card that you got, you did get the parasite here. Yeah, I mean, something beautiful can become a parasite, right? I can eat, too much, I don't know. I could eat too many Twinkies and fucking who knows? Get parasites, right? I got a feeling like the shadow here is like, where's been too much that you've been holding on to that's turned parasitic. Where at the same time also, parasites are very attractive to us without even being seen. So, don't be attracting a parasite. You might have been dealing with a parasite that you're finally getting over of a person that you actually are finally having to be clear. I got a feeling that other person or that other energy that you've been contemplating on the other side of the fence is a good life. And this other side is this parasitic energy, and it won't be grounded. It won't make common sense. And that's how you're going to be able to decipher for you in the clues there. When it comes to Ganesha, what does Ganesha have to say?
Oh, gee, what you got?
New beginnings. So, I mean, I definitely feel like it's going to feel like it's a new start for you with your love life and a lot of new energy coming in. That's just like a new start, a new direction. But when you're in love or you're in a partnership or you've been in a long-term partnership, or if you've never been in one and you've been avoiding one for a long time, I mean, there's definitely a lot of energy trying to initiate you to move forward, initiate you to try a new direction here. And new beginnings are good for you. So I think that, and especially for those that, I think there's a lot of Pisces dealing with exes that are parasitic and that weren't encompassing the dream that you really wanted to. You're going to have to let that go and start with the new beginning energy. If you are a single Pisces out there, you did pull the Two of Pentacles. I mean, you're definitely weighing out and shuffling a couple people here, trying to figure out where to go, land or sea. I think that you need to be a lot more clear and stop juggling on things. Or if you're dealing with somebody who's juggling right now, they're not for you. Relationship, Pisces, definitely the Devil card has popped up here. You might be dealing with a really rough situation patch that you've been in with somebody in your partnership realm, and especially you're looking at, making sure that you're not caught up in something that's got you trapped. And also at the same time, is controlling you, or that you're only in it for just the seductive or the sexual qualities, but have they turned into an incubus or a succubus, and you're just like the host of that? We got the parasite card here. So I got a lot of feelings that there's also Pisces out there who kind of out of relationships, but they're still looking at their person that they're out of, their ex, as a relationship. And like, this is another clear indication to those Pisces that are watching this, like, no, it's bad. So there's definitely something very bad that I think, and it's especially the way the cards fell at the beginning of this, that Pisces need to be very clear about and stay the fuck away from. And it might be something that it's too hard for you. You're like, no way, it's all good. It's not all good. Jupiter, and you did get Taurus, and you got that in the 8th house. So that's quite interesting. I mean, I think a lot of this is realizing that you need to go deeper. It might be like this great vision of what is able to be possible, but you got to go below the surface. You need to look at the truth more. You need to be honest with yourself, and you need to transform your self-worth. And I think that a lot of this is like, you need to really start being on the team that understands your value of yourself and actually like committing to that. And I think that if you're going to cross your boundaries and get rid of your value and worth and adventure by getting rid of those boundaries and getting rid of your worth by going in places that are too against your value or giving it away or giving your goodness away, it's not going to be good. So I think that this is a very powerful week for you to stop giving your great energy away to shitty things.
Word. Don't be giving yourself up. I think it's about focusing on that journey, focusing on the story that you want to tell with your life. We're all at different points, in our story, in our life path. Some of us are still working, and we need to focus on, whether that's breaking bonds, whether that's breaking the cords that we have attached to these individuals that are still in our life. What was it? Parasites? These parasites that we're still connected to. Sometimes we got to brush those off. Maybe you've worked past that, but you're still kind of limiting yourself. You just need to focus on where it is that you actually want to go and not get lost in life itself, not get lost in the journey itself. Because you might be passing up opportunities, you might be passing up individuals as you're just kind of floating through. So what is it that you want? What do you want your story to say? It's something that you need to maybe write down. Actually take that thought and put it onto pen, put it onto paper. That's what I like to do. I don't like to write it on my phone. I like to actually write it out so you can see it and you can feel it. Feel that pen on the paper. You can feel your life story being written out. Focus on that as you move forward and you progress through these cycles.
Boom. I think that's good advice to help.
Hey,
because,
thank you.
You don't want to go through these stupid cycles that just keep repeating and fucking end up like a Pisces in a fucking really bad fucking aquarium. Tauruses. There. Oh, wow. Hey, I'll fucking wear the Versace's with Medusa on it, fucking with algal. I'll
What's that
fucking
song?
wear you
Versace,
fucking
Versace,
Tauruses for
Versace,
this
Versace.
reading. Tauruses feel at home when the
Those things are
Versace's come out.
reflective as fuck.
All right, Taurus, let's see what's going on. I'm giving you the Golden Tarot. Let's see what's going on for your love report this week. Fucking all my bulls out there. All right, first card that you got is, you did get the Ace of Wands in reverse as your first card. Your challenge is the Eight of Wands in reverse. Your overall is the Hangman. And you get the Page of Pentacles as your way through this. All right, Taurus, why are you getting stuck again in the wrong direction? Ace of Wands reversed, and we got the Eight of Wands reversed, and the Hangman. I mean, this is definitely where, at least I think the Page of Pentacles is like, you know, remember the simple things in life and don't get so complicated and going the wrong directions. I think that you could be like, I don't know why I'm getting the vision of this. You're overly trying to make something happen that is kind of like a last case scenario. Like, I hate to say it, but it almost kind of feels like a Saved by the Bell episode where like Zach ends up, you know, with Kelly and fucking AC Slater's taken, and it's like Screech is just kind of like, oh, Elise is actually taken, and Screech is just like the last resort for some chick, you know, and it's just like, are you really like just gonna like try and make something happen out of nothing? This Page of Pentacles is remembering for you to maybe realize like maybe you're going the wrong direction here. Maybe you're taking on way too much that's not a signification that you're going in the right place. I mean, this Ace of Wands here is like Frankensteining love. And with the Hangman here, it's going to leave you kind of stuck and endful. And then, of course, you got this Eight of Wands as your challenge card here in reverse. I just feel like it's like, hello, the issue is you're not going the right direction about things. And this is a complication for you. But really, it's simple about knowing your worth and knowing your value, and actually like having the simplicity of being like, oh, like, let me see that. It could also be people walking away from you. I'm not going to lie. And it could be, you know, about like you having to maybe stand up for yourself and say like, hey, like maybe you have the wrong perception of me, or maybe you have the wrong energy. You know, it feels like you're stuck. It almost feels like a dog kind of stuck, you know, in the corner, and it starts yapping and it starts biting. And I almost got a feeling like, you know, you know, the perspective of how you communicate yourself and how you communicate what you really want to do is going to have to be apparent now. You could be blowing a situation this week. I got a feeling of that. I don't know why. I just do. Especially when I see an Ace of Wands and Eight of Wands reverse, like it just feels like make sure you're not picking the last case scenario to make good, and at the same time, like why is energy not walking towards you? It's walking away from you, and it's making you feel stuck. You got that Ace of Wands reverse because you did get that Seven of Pentacles. I almost feel like, you know, you got to put in the work to get the return. I got a feeling that you're almost like kind of not doing that. You're almost like last minute trying to make a big investment at the last minute, but you know, you're not going to get the return that you want because it's not the investment just out of nowhere. It's the investment of the work that you do. So I think that right now, whether you're dealing with a partner, are they investing in it? Are they walking away? But I got a feeling for you, like this is kind of a very like intense reading. You did get all these very intense reversals of very good love cards here. And a reminder underneath them of like knowing your value and communicating it correctly, but also showing people that you're willing to do the work. Like I got a feeling you're not showing up enough. That Hangman came because you did get the 10 of Swords. That's the thing. You keep feeling stuck. People feel it. Nobody wants to be around anybody that's stuck, Taurus. I got a feeling that, you know, even if you're looking at this and you're like, oh, but my love situation, you're stuck. You feel like everything's in the same patterns. You might be able to finally, you know, get out of this pattern by just doing the simple thing and like, you know, remembering the value of things and like showing up to do things and communicating what you want to do and showing up. The Seven of Pentacles shows up. Like it starts getting out, you know, it starts getting out the shovel and it starts doing it. But, you know, like look at this card. She's like the grave digger and she's doing all the work and she gets paid. She gets the apple at the end of the day because she's doing the work. At least she gets rewarded with something. You know, I feel like you have to show up more in relationships and do the work. You might be feeling like maybe you're trying to start something, but there's really no work there. Or there hasn't been enough work done. So maybe it's just about like Page of Pentacles, not taking everything like it's not going the wrong direction, but that maybe there's not enough time that has been involved yet, you know, and you're going to have to come from that place, you know, like, hey, maybe it's like, you know, maybe you haven't or they haven't. There's a lot of weird stuff here. You did get that 10th house. I mean, this is definitely growing up. And that was weird. That was kind of the overall, I am an astrologer. This is the only deck I'm using with astrology. And, you know, the 10th house showed up here. Like, in order to get the world you want in love, like, you're going to have to show up. You're going to have to be a boss about it and like show up more and like, you know, take command more. And I feel like that you're not taking command enough, especially when I see that Ace of Wands. Like you just can't like Frankenstein something. You just can't just be like out of nowhere, just like, oh yeah, love. Like that's a forced way. If the spirit does it naturally, it was like you were doing the work to show up. You were involved with spirit. You were in the right moment and all that shit. I almost feel like, again, 10th house has to deal with timing and time. I almost got a feeling like, you know, you have to have a better understanding about the work that you put in yourself, the work that you do about showing up in love situations and so forth is going to be when shit fucking works, not when you just like randomly to choose the time yourself. And I got a feeling that there's a lot of that going on right now. You did get the lucky, so I am feeling this, but again, it's the horseshoe lucky, right? There's something to say about the luck of like the work that you do and then the horseshoe that you put above your door. You know, it's like there is work still involved. I feel like there is something about this lucky energy about showing up more. Like maybe that's your deepest fear is how much to show up or commitment energy I'm feeling, but that's where the luck is. You know, I have a horseshoe that I always put up that's upside down and in the same way. And I have always had great luck because of it. And it was given to me by a Taurus, believe it or not, who passed away a year ago this week. I love you, Johnny, in 4 years. But I will say that, you know, one thing about Johnny was that he was always a happy-go-lucky guy when it came to love and it came to relationships. You know, he understood that, you know, as a Taurus, it's not easy. You guys are picky and you guys like things, but, you know, once he did, he gave it his all. It's not an easy thing as a Taurus to put everything into things. And this is definitely a very big time with this lunar eclipse in Sag about letting go of trust issues and also not being there to be committed by you. It's almost like, you know, commitment for you is like a weird thing. And I think that you only are going to get luck when you commit to it. By commit the same way. Lucky only comes if you commit to putting a horseshoe up on top of a door, above the door in that way. Like, it's not like, you got to keep it there. You just can't put it up for 2 minutes and be like, I'm lucky. Okay, done. Like, no, it's got to stay there. And it takes time. I think I got a feeling you got an issue with timing. You're misfiring on time and you've got a feeling that you can just be lucky real quick. No, it takes time and it takes like commitment to that time and commitment in relationships too, and being willing to have, I think that Tauruses are going to have those talks finally about I'm ready to commit or whatever. Your shadow is the triumph of lies. So now I don't want to call you like some liar that you're dealing with some liar. I just think that there's like this kind of overwhelming amount of like, you know, just kind of lying to yourself or just kind of like being in this, especially with the hangman. I got to be real. There's so much energy here, Taurus, of like, you know, creating the lie that you can just stay in the repeated cycle of hell when that's not true. I think that it's time for you to get over that lie that you're holding within yourself. Like, it's like you can't get over some part of yourself of being stuck in these shitty situations, but you got to look at yourself in the mirror and the lies that you're telling yourself about that. When we come to the Ganesha energy, what does Ganesha have to say to the cows?
Oh, Ganesha.
We did get healing. So, I mean, you definitely are finally, I think, willing to heal. I think if you lead with healing, I think if you lead with trying to, you know, patch things up or work from a much more positive healing place and come from a softer tone, you're going to go a lot farther, because I feel like right now you kind of need that. And at the end of the day, people want to see the softer side of Tauruses. They don't want to see the bull, and they want to see a Taurus that's willing to heal and be open about things, not closed off. If you are single and you are a Taurus, you got the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, you know, it might be that you're having issues. You might be moving. You might be like feeling like you don't have a secure and safe place right now. So it's hard to be in a love relationship because of that. You're questioning your location. You're questioning the things in life. You also don't know if you could build the foundation to hold a relationship right now. Or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's in that same place, but usually it'll be the same on both sides. So that would be dangerous. If you are in a relationship, you pull the Ace of Pentacles. You know, this is about understanding the value of the relationship in a whole new way and having to find a whole new tone, and a lot of healing that could take place instead of getting in those stuck situations or those ruts that the relationship have been in. I am in drop city mode here.
Drop city, y'all. Yeah, you know, I think that it's time, it's game time, so to speak. There's certain points in our life when we have to show up. We can't just be a practice player. We can't just be sitting on the sideline. It is our life, and we need to show up, and we need to actually put our energy into it. We need to put all of our training, everything that we've gone through in our life, whether that be the lies, the deceit, the joy, the happiness, the friendships, everything that we've cultivated through that. It's time that we actually use all that energy. We use all that knowledge, and we apply it to our life for the better.
Neptune, Aries, and that is the 8th house. Again, the sensitivities you have about trust and commitment, you need to be much more clear about your commitment goals. You need to stop the illusion that you can't have the commitments that you want, and you have to learn to attract. Your identity either attracts or it's misleading and detracts.
Detraction.
Yep, straight up.
What about Multiplicity with Michael Keaton?
Boring.
Yeah, it was weird. Probably was fun to film it though.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many good. I just finished Castlevania. Shit fucking rocked.
I want to suck your blood.
Yeah, fucking Castlevania is fucking dope. If you have not watched Castlevania on Netflix yet and you're watching this show and you like alchemy, you like astrology, you like all this shit, well, maybe you should watch Castlevania. All right. Let's see who's next. Cancers. We got the Cancers up now.
Crab people.
Or the dung beetle.
The dung beetle pushing it uphill.
Pushing
Very
that poop.
dedicated little
Pushing that poop
creatures.
uphill.
Those dung beetles.
Yes. All right. What's going on in the love life of Cancers? Let's see what's going on in the cards for you this week in your love life with these eclipses and your 12th sixth house access. I did say it on High Vibe, but I will say this. It's not like secret information, but when astrologers, we call each other and we all gripe is when we are going through this transit of eclipses, 6th and 12th house access. You can ask any astrologer that. They will tell you the truth. Like, we're always like, yeah, I'm in my 12th, 6th house, eclipse cycle. Not the easiest one to go through of letting go and your reality changing. So just preparing y'all for that one. All right. You did pull the 5 of Wands in reversed. That's your first card. You pulled the 9 of Pentacles as your challenge. You pulled as your overall the 9 of Cups in reverse, though. And then you did get the Knight of Wands as your way through this. I feel like this is good, but at the same time, 9 of Cups, I'm going here first as the overall. I mean, it's kind of like one of those cards that it's like over excited about something or like too much of a good thing, or it's not enough. Like you don't believe in it enough. We're going to get more clear on that. 5 of Wands also in reverse, not trying hard enough to change things, confrontation trying to be avoided. And then look at this. The challenge is the 9 of Pentacles, which is the card that deals with your ultimate value and self-worth and knowing you can have whatever you want by being independent, knowing your value and owning your value. And you got an issue with that. For some reason, you're not wanting to be in conflict. And I think that the issue is over your independence and your value of yourself about something. I would say that, if you're dating or in a relationship, you're not stepping up for yourself enough, or you're dealing with a partner who really is not worthy for you and you don't know how to deal with it. Especially this 9 of Cups is like, well, we had a great time and I've felt like we've done these great things. It's like, let go of the past emotions, or don't be like looking at, were you just drunk, or was it like a little Band-Aid? I feel like these are a lot of Band-Aids that are being ripped off and that you can't just put another Band-Aid on them. About your love life in general. But you do got this Knight of Wands here. I feel that it's good. You got to understand your value and your worth, and you got to leap towards that wherever it is. And I know, Cancer, that is something that you know how to do, but I think that you have a lot of exterior weird things and a lot of things inside at the same time that are freaking you out about that. You don't want conflict. You don't want to change things because you feel unsafe. Well, let me just tell you, this is the only time in 18 years that you're going to get a eclipse with a Mercury retrograde in your 12th house. So, hello, it's time for you to change the whole spiritual story about things. I've been trying to say this, and this is part of the whole reason of what Pluto's doing to you at the end of Capricorn. I don't know what to tell you. It's been a very hard run since 2008 for relationships for you. And I know there's a lot of fear, but when you face fear and you do transformation, you get a lot of payoffs, especially with Pluto. What's going on with that 5 of Wands reverse? You got the King of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, having no confrontations means that you don't have any you have lack of self-worth, or you're dealing with the part. I'm going to be honest. You're afraid to tell somebody who is already got no self-worth about your own self-worth, which makes no fucking sense. Okay, Cancer. So you're afraid to confront something of somebody who's weak with their value, but you're too afraid. That's the truth. That's what this is showing. I don't want to say it, but how pathetic is that, Cancer, right? You're afraid to know and own your value over somebody who has no value in themselves at all. What are you doing? You got the Star card. I mean, you got the Star card here with the Knight of Cups reverse. I mean, you know what? Instead of being like hopeful for things to go the way that you want to in every way, maybe you need to actually listen to the universe and start from a fresh new space and realize, you know, trying to continue to mound more positive shit on shit. How many layers of positive shit got shot right back on? I got a feeling like, especially that you're not leaping towards what you really want in your life. I got a feeling that you keep leaping away from that. It's like playing skittish. You got to stop playing skittish. You got to be real now. You got to own it now. These are major eclipses in your 12th. Look at this, Jupiter return. Look how many benefits are coming to you, especially when it comes to not being afraid to have confrontation and owning your self-worth and valuing yourself, but also confronting situations about people who are not the king of their value and they can't manifest shit. I got a feeling some Cancers might be in relationships where they're with their partner that fucking can't manifest. They're not willing to, you know, change. I don't care if the economy's in inflation. I don't care if whatever's going on. You fucking figure it out. You make shit happen. What are you doing, Cancer? Or are you going to just own yourself in a partnership more and just be like, yo, this is what I need. This is what's going on. Like, I'm not going to be treated this way anymore. I'm not going to deal with this bullshit anymore. I'm not happy in this way. And there's a lot of benefits by showing up and owning that and not being afraid of conflict. It might be something so stupid too. Just something super easy, you know? But I got a feeling like there's a lot of like hesitation there. You got the shift. Whoa. When this card pops up, oh, it's a holy shift moment. So, especially with that Knight of Wands and that holy shift is the power of love towards your independent values of what you need. That's what needs to shift. And if you're afraid of shifting, you're not going to get the benefits, because we're going to see what that shift card is shifting on the other side. We're going to see the other side literally in the shadow deck here. And what did you get? Oh, alone in the world. But believe it or not, this shift is like you're already alone by not confronting things, or you're going to get alone, but it's going to get you to shift towards benefits in every situation. So this whole like shadow of like feeling alone, you're afraid to feel alone, maybe to confront a situation when you already are alone, like energetically. I don't care if you're in something beautiful that you think is beautiful, but if you feel alone, like you need to shift out of that and get to your opportunities and to your benefits. That's only a once in 12-year cycle of Jupiter return. Remember that. And I'm telling you that you're in a once in 18-year cycle at this point. So what does Ganesha have to say about this?
Oh, Ganesha.
Oh, the Ganesh. Be candid. I can't be even more candid than I just was. Oh, Cancer. I can't make that shit up. Be candid. I was being fucking candid to the max. You know, and I was almost kind of feeling like, well, you know what? I put it this way. I had no doubts when I was being so candid to you all about fucking this shit. I was just like, this is what it's coming through. And I got a feeling like even Ganesh is coming through, and even the fucking cornerstone of this whole fucking reading is be fucking candid. Like you fucking, and honestly, like you can do it. Like I look at be candid as that, like you did it. But I think that you're going to have to fucking get to the point. I love how Ganesha is focused on this center point, and you got to be honest and candid about shit. Can't be afraid of it. If you're single out there, you got the Tower reversed. Don't head into a fucking horrible situation that you know you're heading to if you're single right now. That fucking area where it's like it's already burning down, or it's just never turned into what you want. Like fucking end that shit. Or not anybody that's like starting to talk about, well, shit might not go that well in my life. Will you be there for me? And they're not willing to do, you know, that's almost like, I got a feeling single Cancers out there, like don't go jump into a relationship off somebody who's already falling off the fucking like horse of life. Like, will you be there if I fall off the horse? You know, like, will you be there if I lose everything? Like, you know, like that's the only reason why they want you around is to take care of them. And that's the fucking shit. And you're the little dung beetle that's going to fucking push it all up. No. If you're in a relationship, wow. 4 of Cups, feeling like that the gift has been missing. And it like, where the fuck is the gift in this thing anymore? That's a hard one. That's a hard one because, of course, you're not missing out on things. You're not showing up to the place where God is delivering the gifts. And you got to figure that one out in your partnership energy, especially big time. You got to be candid. Well, you got the 10th house with Taurus there and Mars. I mean, definitely Mars in the 10th is exalted, but in Taurus it's detriment. So that's a little weird. Again, this would be like the whole confrontation thing, especially, but you're doing it a little too slow. It's time for you to execute what you really want in your life and knowing the value of it. And I think that you're going too slow. You're going to need to actually execute the choices that you want to make and actually go towards the things that you want to make change in your life. for your relationship.
Go towards that change. Turn that key. Maybe unlock that mind a little bit, unlock that heart. Wherever that block is going, it's almost like a little dam, but sometimes you got those salmon swimming upstream. They got those little pools, and then they make their way up, and sometimes they got to blockade it off, and they got to divert the water. That's you. You got to turn that little blockade and let that flow into life. Sometimes we got to have an ultra shift. Sometimes we just got to have a little shift. Whatever it is, whatever's going to suit you, just those little changes is going to allow that flow. It's going to allow that abundance. It's going to allow all those benefits to actually seep into that soil that is your life. Seep into the soil.
Deeply
into the soil.
Deep into the soil. Capricorns, talk about some soil. Did you soil your pants, Capricorn?
Soil. Fresh soil.
Did you soil them pants? See what's going on with the Cappies for your love life this week. All right, first card that you got is Two of Wands in reverse. Your challenge here is the Page of Swords. Ooh, owie. Nine of Wands is your overall. And you did get the Queen of Wands to get through this. Interesting. I'm really feeling a little funky here. I'm going to be honest with you about this reading already. I don't know. Maybe it's the Cancer Capricorn axis. They're both dealing with 12th house, 6th house eclipse energies. Two of Wands in reverse sucks in love. Just going to be honest. You're unsure of what you really want for your love life. Okay. Two of Wands is very clear. Like, this is the world in my hands. I'm going to see it. Oh my God. This is like where I'm going to go. I see the other side. This could be you and your partner not seeing the same. You might not even feel like you're connected to understanding, or you're single and you're like, where is my partner? But again, communication is an issue. Challenge, Page of Swords. Too afraid to say the message. Too afraid to bring up some of those issues or even talk about it. Or you're at a weird point already about it. You got this Nine of Wands here. It's like, you got to defend the position of what you want to do, and you got to guard a position, but are you too guarded? I got a feeling like this Queen of Wands is here. Like, the only way to light your fire is through truth, and the only way to light the fire is to confront it and like bright it up. Like, the love is not working because you're not fucking willing to face the truth. You're not willing to own your happiness either. There's a place of like, so many wands here. Jesus Christ, like 3 of them. I mean, there's a lot about lighting the truth up, lighting up what you really want, lighting up what you don't like, Like, I feel like you're just kind of like stuck here in this weird like place of like, it's not even like avoiding, but it's more just like knowing the truth but not knowing how to say anything and acting like it's not happening when it's happening. You did get the 3 of Wands, and then you got the Knight of Wands. So the 3 of Wands here is this card that comes after the 2 of Wands. Get it put this way, Capricorn. You can't go anywhere in life if you don't know the world you want to know what ships will come in. So you're looking for all this hope, but you're not confronting with, well, what world do you want it to be? What do you want this to be? What does this relationship need to do to have it be the way that it's going to be? Is it available to you? 2 of Wands reversed might not be. Might be like, this isn't working. We've tried this many times. Or you and yourself. And there's a lot of Capricorns that have been blocked. Ever since Pluto's been in the sign, Pluto is the only planet that blocks. Like, I don't want to fucking like have it. Like, maybe these are these really big issues about you and love that you have to get over because no ship keeps coming in because you don't have a fucking open door to port. Or no new things are going to change because you don't have an open door to figuring out what you really want. Or you're too afraid to go after what you really want. You're too afraid to adventure towards that. You're too afraid to be open towards that. And then you got this Knight of Wands reversed here. It's like you're not leaping forward because I think that you're just kind of like, I hate to say it, Knight of Wands is just sitting in the same spot. And your overall is that you keep sitting in the same spot, and it's not good when I see this Knight of Wands here in reverse. Because it's like, that's a leap card and it's not leaping. So you're not leaping anywhere. You're sitting in limbo completely, and it's really fucking with things. What's going on here? North Node. Oh, wow. This is a destined moment to step into your life's purpose. Rahu definitely gives you the energy to move forward. It might feel like it's kind of an ego thing, but it's time. I mean, especially this is in your 6th house. If we actually think about it, I'll give you a little astrology there. I mean, like, this is the time for you to make changes in your reality of how you deal with love. There has to be a crazy change because this is a 12th house lunar eclipse for you. I mean, this is like purging the fucking shit. Like purging out a lot of shit. Remember, we didn't get this last year like this. So We had a lunar eclipse in your own sign. Now it's in your 12th house. So you haven't seen this since 2012. Trust. Oh, wow. This is a heavy reading. Trust that you can light up your fire into truth. But for some reason, you're too afraid of going through that doorway. You're too afraid of, there's fear. There's a lot of fear here. There's a lot of fear of love. There's a lot of fear of the happiness that you really want. That's your life's purpose. That's everybody's life's purpose. Not just yours, all of ours. So why are you afraid of it? Like, why are you afraid of that love? Look at this. You feel like you're fated to suffer. Oh, I don't want to deal with this because it's going to suffering. You're suffering right now. You're suffering horribly. Like, and that's a shadow, because the truth is you're not really suffering, but you're suffering the more that you don't confront the trust to walk through the doorways of what you need to figure out, what you really want, what you don't want, and stop staying stuck in the same spot. You're defending the most ridiculous shit by staying in the same place, not wanting to jump in anything, having too many guards up, you have too many guards up about everything. I got to save this thing. That's hell. I got to save this fucking single person that I'm living in myself, because there's hell that could come in. Oh, you know what? Nothing's coming in, so heaven can't come in either. So, love takes courage, and I think that I'm going to just be honest. I'm just being very fucking real, because Gemini time, and I have North Node in Gemini, and this lunar eclipse is right on my fucking nodes, exact 5 degrees. You're a coward, and it's time for you to stop being a coward. What does Ganesh have to say? Damn, I'm fucking... You're not going to hear that on other channels. They're going to be too fucking pussy to fucking tell you that shit. Look at that. Personal transformation. You're personally transforming to stop being a fucking coward. Calling you out. Calling you out. Look at that. 35 equals an 8. You're a fucking Saturn. It's time to fucking grow up and transform and get over this cowardliness of trust and of what you really want. Like, don't be a coward. Look at that. If you're single, look at this. The Lover's card reversed. You're afraid of love if you're single. Simple. If you're in a relationship, 9 of Swords reversed. You keep having massive anxieties that shit isn't right, and you keep avoiding it. And you need to pay attention to it, and it's causing anxiety in your life and everything else. Cowards. Time to stop being a coward. Jupiter and Aries in the 2nd house. So talk about knowing your value and your worth and going after what you want. It's time for you to open up the doors to what you really want in your life, literally, identify-wise, and the physical part of it, because if you don't, you will get nada.
Nada. Nada, 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 nada. Nothing. Zilch. Nothing. You got to live in your absolute truth. We all have to find our journey. We all have to find our passion. We all have to find love whenever it suits us. But you have to find your journey first. You have to find that meaning. You have to find that passion within inside yourself, or else it's going to crumble around. It's not going to be that strong foundation that you're searching for. It's not going to have that long-lasting truth of it. If you're lying to yourself, if you're holding yourself back, if you're living in a limiting space of life, then you're just going to have a limiting space of love. So break through those bonds, break through yourself, and transcend the
demons.
Damn right.
I was going to say, Saturn just went retrograde, so I think anybody with Capricorn energy, rising moon, all that kind of shit, son, you're all feeling that whole, like you just said, limitations. And you can't be a coward and be limiting yourself in love. You got to fucking own love. That's why Saturn is a little bitch, and all Capricorn and Aquarius energy is bitch energy. You know why? Because it's against the sun and the moon, because it doesn't have the courage to send the light every day. All the time. It hides in the dark shadows of its cowardliness. And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just giving you the astrology and the understanding of magic and how it works. And it's time for you all to stop this fucking bullshit and bring the light, especially in these times when look at the world after being through Saturn and Capricorn and now Aquarius. You really think this has been ultimately a beautiful time? No. Go look back 15 years ago when it was in Cancer and Leo. The music you probably listened to is from then. Everything was a brighter show. And you're having to realize that you were a coward to fill in the brighter show now. All right, Sag. No more being a little bitch. I'm done with little bitches. I'm just so done. I'm so done in this world with little bitches. I can't handle them anymore. There's too many little bitches walking around.
Maybe they need to break out of purgatory.
they should break out Purgatory, and they need to watch Purgatory so they can understand. Because like literally, and I even go into like what really the meaning of poor means. Like, do you even know what poor means? Not because of money. Like, you're an idiot if you think poor means you're poor because of money. Like, you don't know potency at all if you don't understand any of this shit. Like, it's just crazy. All right, Sag, let's see what's going on with your love life. All right.
All right.
Everybody awake. Everybody awake. Everybody up. Everybody's up. Okay. All righty. All right, let's see what's going on with Sag for this week in your love life. This lunar eclipse is in your sign, so if there's any time to pay attention to and to get some ultimate truth, it's right now, because you are in the illusion of your south node. And I just did a whole thing on high vibe to Sages and gave him a long extra horoscope about it, because trust me, when I was south node in Leo, I was in my illusions when the eclipses were happening and shit like that, and it does not fare well when you live in the illusion and you're lying. You know, don't lie to yourself through this time. I'm going to give you that ultimate truth right now. Boom, look at this. 3 of Swords reversed. We can't even make this shit up. I swear, I can't make this shit up. 2 of Pentacles is your challenge card. You did get the Knight of Pentacles in reverse as your overall, and the way that you get through this is the Queen of Cups reversed. Wow. Number one, and this goes with your astrology right now, but I just got to say, like, this is, you know, you're not going to be taken care of the way that you want to be, because I think that, you know, whenever the 3 of Swords shows up, it is the heartbreak card. Let's not forget that. In a reversal, it could be that you are in total denial of that there is heartbreak about something. But the truth is like, you know that there is this heartbreak that you got to like bring up to the surface here. And I think this heartbreak is you continuing to be on the fence about what you're doing and what should I do with my love life, or what is this or what is that. Like, but actually it's about looking at your whole entire existence of yourself and who you are. Like, you are in fucking a weird situation, whether you're single or in a relationship. It is weird. I don't give a fuck what it says. In your own fucking persona, you got a Knight of Pentacles in reverse that is stuck in the physical realm. Probably a partner or somebody you're dating that didn't work out, but usually it's a partner, if you're in a partnership, that is fucking not going anywhere with their manifestation. They're not even that worthy of it. They can't move forward, and you feel like you can't move forward, and you keep trying to move forward. And if you keep trying to move forward with this person, there always seems to be a fucking challenge. Pay attention to that shit. But this Queen of Cups is like reversed. The way you get through this is, I think that there's a part of you that has to stop holding the emotional weight to these wishy-washy situations within yourself and who you're connected with, because it's heartbreak that I'm more scared of the 3 of Swords than I am of the 3 of Swords reversed. Or sorry, I'm more scared of the 3 of Swords reversed than I am of the 3 of Swords. I'd rather have the 3 of Swords. It's like, okay, I know that the heartbreak's here, but this is the avoidance of it. This is the, oh, well, maybe it's not that bad, especially with this South Node lunar eclipse in your sign. It's like, why are you completely like not wanting to see that fucking the most stupidest situation in love is happening? Like, stupid. You'll look back in years and go, what the fuck? You already have, but I think that you keep playing like, and that's the challenge, is playing wishy-washy about it. And you need to stop holding the emotions for, it's okay that it's wishy-washy. It's okay that I kind of want to be with this person, but I also fucking dream about somebody else. It's okay that they kind of show up half the time and the other time they don't. It's okay that fucking that I don't show up fully, that I always have my issues and people leave. Well, they leave because you're not fucking able to show up, or you're holding on to too many emotions. Queen of Cups is like reverse, like stop the emotional baby shit or holding the emotions for certain people. That you're just like in yourself, or it's like baby shit. You got the Moon reversed. Oh my God. If you are not paying attention right now, Sagittarius, look at this. Moon reversed, lunar eclipse in your sign. These are suppressed emotions about fucking things that you don't want to face about heartbreak. That's not happy with your love situation if you're single. That's not happy with your partnership. There's a lot of fucking underlying hidden shit that you know that's going on that you got to face, and you got to fucking deal with it. The Hermit, you got the crotchety card with it as your overall. You need to really pay attention now, because I think that, you know what? The only thing left in this reading that is showing any form of solace in your life at this moment would be that you need to really start to retreat to some truth, and you really need to start to look deep inside and be an elder and start to really look at what is going on. Because I feel like there's a lot of things that you need to retreat out of here and get a better perspective of what's going on in your love life, and stop blaming all these other things or avoiding a bunch of things, you got to look deep at your own self. And it's like alone out in the woods. You might even be alone out in the woods. And if you are alone out in the woods, there's a problem. That's always a sign to me in a love reading. You know, like you're avoiding what you don't want to fucking face. Because there is a 3 of Swords there, and because this lunar eclipse is for you, we're going to cross that. What is that about? Boom. Ace of Swords. Oh my gosh. Like you're too afraid of piercing the veil and coming into your ultimate truth. And you're also too afraid of like being clear on what you really want. It's like having what you really want. It's like, no, I'm going to stick with what I kind of don't like, or it's like you keep stabbing yourself instead of letting the white dove and the beauty of God take you to where the truth is. This is, to me, Excalibur. You're too afraid to pull Excalibur out and fucking have Merlin show up and fucking have the Lady of the Lake fucking, knight you or king you into the ultimate of Camelot. It's like you're afraid of stepping up your level of your love life and staying on this stupid vibration that you're at. When it comes to your astro, you got Pluto. You're afraid of death and transformation. It's time for you to face that shit, especially with the moon card, the 3 of Swords reversed, and they're both reversed, and you got the Ace of Swords crossed. I got it crossed, so it's like in between. Shit, you were afraid of change. You're afraid of changing this whole game, and you have to get to the ultimate truth with Pluto there. You can't fucking lie to yourself anymore. The South Node illusion, and keep believing that the picture, especially you're in the biggest relationship transit of everybody else, because all these planets in Gemini, including Mercury retrograde, is going to happen in your 7th house of relationships. So I'm not just coming off just tarot here and just like, oh, these cards and that's it. No, there's astrology backing this always, and the astrology is always the number one. And then you're seeing this Pluto thing, like, come on, Sag. Safe travel to finally get out of the bullshit scenario. Like, especially by not being emotionally connected anymore or feeding the emotion. A Queen of Cups is like a mom who overfeeds their child and lets the child sleep in their bed till they're fucking like 15 years old. And then they don't know how to socially interact with society. They don't know where they're going. Like, are you over-mothering a situation? Are you over-mothering your indecisiveness of the shifty world that nobody knows which, are you on this side of the mirror or are you on that side of the mirror? Nobody fucking knows. If you're single or if you're in a relationship, it's like, you're switching roles all the time. You don't know who you are anymore. You've lost the identity of who you are. That's the illusion of the South Node in your sign with the moon there, is the illusion that you think you know who you are, but really you're in between two people, especially with the twins in opposition to you. And when it comes to your shadow, look at that, your fragmentation. I can't, if you really believe that you can bring wholeness together, or the encompassment of Jupiter and the abundance in a fragmented reality, I'm sorry to tell you, a shattered reality, then it's not going to happen. Like, this is shattering the reality, and that's the shadow, and you're fragmented, and there's an ultimate truth here that you got to face. What does Ganesha have to say?
Oh, Ganesha.
Decision. Time to grow up. Make big decisions in your life, because I think that you're on the fence of a big decision and you're afraid. There's plenty of safe travel. There's transformation. There's fragmentation. Which one do you want? You want the safe travel from fragmentation to transformation? Or are you going to transform things to just stay into safe travel by continuing to feed the transformation of fragmenting things even more? If you're single, you got the 9 of Pentacles. You need to know your value, and you need to know your worth, and you need to be hot again. You're not hot. You're not showing up hot. You're looking like a hot mess. 3 of Pentacles in reverse. You know what? If you're in a relationship, you're thinking about somebody else. I hate to say it, and you gotta be honest with your partner about it. You're not into your partner anymore. You're not into it. You're thinking about somebody else. That's just some fucking truth. 3 of Pentacles. Fuck. I'm going to put with one overall card, and it's from the Astro. And you got Pisces. Oh. And that's where your square point is. That's you're emotional. You're so sloppy emotionally right now. It's not even funny, all over the place. And you got to believe in what you really want to go towards, but you also don't want to be neurotic and believing in the fucking craziness that is going to not happen, of common sense. The North Node is squaring, and the South Node is squaring, and this lunar eclipse is squaring Jupiter, where Pisces is, and Neptune and Mercury is squaring that with the retrograde. So, like, this is where it's like, you got to believe in the divine and also see through your own delusions. You got the moon, and you got it in Virgo, and you got it in the 2nd house. So It's time to clean up your life emotionally and your personal life and make it better. And unfortunately, you got to like literally clean it up. And also you got to come from a more pure space, and you need to find what's the best for your physical life in a better way. I mean, you got to actually see if your life is really as valuable as you think it is. If your personal life and your emotions are actually like holding value and being picky about it, or are you giving it all away and you're just like letting it just be sloppy and just like, if things aren't working and if there's money issues and stuff, that's a very clear sign that you were in the wrong thing too.
And we can't be afraid of change. You know, is it the fear of the endings or the fear of the new beginnings that stops us from the transformation? Because both of them can be terrifying. You know, we never know what's on the other side of either one of them. We don't know what's going to turn out when we do end, and we don't know if there's going to be anything that comes forth for that new beginning, and then maybe we'll be left by ourselves. And both of them can be terrifying. But it's all right, because you still have yourself at the end of the day. You still are transcending. You still are transforming your life fully at the pace that you need it, with the individuals that you need in your life at that moment. So some people might leave and come back, or some people may leave and never be back, but you still have yourself always. And that's what you need to lean on. You need to lean on yourself and the transformation and the journey that you are on as an individual, solo, not with anyone else. And if there's someone there that's going to come and shine the light with you, then that's going to be great, but you have to be ready for that. You have to be ready to end and start that new beginning.
Yeah, if you're afraid of transformation and change, then that's what the South Node is. Like, you have to, at that point, like, the illusion has to end. And you have to go to the North. And in this case, Sag's problem is truth. They think that they believe that they know things, but that's not truth.
It's true.
Truth is common sense. Truth is things that are from the divine that you can see in the divine, not the idea of what to see in the future. Like, it's what you can see in the moment, and see what you have to look at the moment. And that's the truth. The truth is the moment. The truth is not what is beyond at the time that you're looking at things, in the moment, in the environment that you're in. And that's a very hard thing for Sag, because Sag actually believes the bullshit that they create. That's what popes do. That's what fucking politicians do. And that's what celebrities do. And all this Jupiter glamorization of things that I have figured out the way and all this shit, but won't be real, won't be honest, won't be like honest to the truth of what's going on. Sag has an honesty to it, it has a truth to it, but it's a different one. It's a truth of like, I'm pretty sure that I've done enough knowledge that that's the right direction to go, but you have to go on the adventure and see. And sometimes at the end of the Jupiter journey, that's why it's ruled by Pisces, you could end up not being right, and you have to surrender and be like, that was a journey that God put me through. And that's not truth. But that's truth, God's journey, but you were wrong. So
tada, how do you like me now?
Virgo. If people want to know the truth, my favorite, or the planet I don't like the most in astrology, in my own chart, like transiting or anything like that, is Jupiter. I do not like Jupiter transits. I've made massive mistakes with Jupiter transits in my life. Massive. All right. Let's see what's going on with those awesome Virgos out there. How's it going in the chat? We alive? Have you guys all like clicked that like button to help us out? You know, that's what helps us out the most. That's actually how YouTube is working nowadays, is how you click that like button. So
smash it.
You can smash it. You can tap it. You can
gently
use the touch screen of your pinky finger and do like a really like, you know, like a little just like beep. All right, Virgo, let's see what's going on. Your first card here is a 4 of Pentacles in reverse. Your challenge card is the Wheel of Fortune. Your overall here is the 2 of Swords in reverse, and you are coming through this by using the Queen of Cups to help you through this kind of challenge here. Well, I think that it's time to take better care of yourself. I feel that you are trying to control the way that life is going. That's not going to work. This 4 of Pentacles, it sucks when it's reversed. I'm going to be honest with you with love, because it kind of is not sure about things. There's an unsurety of the value. There's an unsurety of what is desired. There is a 2 of Swords here in reverse, but the overall saying that you're pretty clear on it. Like, stop acting like you're not. I think that you're acting like you don't know the fortune that you must face, which is letting go of control and just embodying what the fortune is, where you know things must go. Where I think that a lot of what must go I mean, let's be real. This is a lunar eclipse happening in your fourth house of emotion. This is squared to you in Pisces. This is in your 10th house. You need to grow up now, and you need to realize that you are holding emotions that are about certain relationship situations that you're trying to control too much. Like, you're trying to control the outcome of things too much. Let go of all the control, especially with that Two of Swords reverse. Like, don't act like you don't know which way you're going. You know exactly where you're going. That's a fucking facade. Like, oh, I don't know. Like, or acting like in yourself, like telling yourself, well, I don't really know. You know, you just don't want to face the fucking music. And that Four of Pentacles is afraid to own the choice or own the choice of the decision itself. Like, you just like are sitting in limbo and you want to try and hold, I don't want to go through this. That's always when I see Wheel of Fortune as a challenge. Like, I don't want to go through this. Well, why don't you just let the universe, let the fortune happen and hold that shit and see what happens? Like, that's what it's like. Pretty simple. It's pretty simple, but it can be hard. Well, you got the Three of Swords. There's a heartbreak here that you know about that you are not wanting to deal with anymore. This is usually either a person you don't want to deal with anymore or some sort of ending that might be happening to you at the same time, or just like being honest with somebody about, like, there's things that you're heartbroken about that you don't like, that you're not feeling valued, or you're not feeling like you're being seen, or at the same time that you're not seeing in them. I mean, there's definitely like some stuff that you feel like you don't deserve to go through that you don't really want to have anymore. And you're going to have to face that honest truth. I mean, that Two of Swords reverse came up with the Five of Swords reversed. You're not trying hard enough when it comes to making a clear cut decision and what you're going to do with your life. You're sitting in the fence and you're not pushing hard enough. You're too afraid of the repercussions of like your actions. And I think that, you know, that's not thinking straight. That's like thinking cautious. And I think that you're overly cautious right now. And you probably have good reason to be, but at the same time, like, you're not going to have abundance. You're not going to have the feelings that you want by being in a cautious place. Like, let go of the caution, let caution go to the wind. And this is mutable times and you're a mutable sign. It's time for that mutable change in your life. Something's got to change. Might be just minor shit too, right? But it's going to be heartbreaking if you don't allow that change and you don't allow yourself to let go of the way that things were and like re-come to yourself as a Four of Pentacles would, and let go of the coin and then find that new coin that can come out. It might be a new person. It might be just changes in a relationship. It might be just different kind of partners that you're going to date. You got the air element here. So communication is going to be the big part of this, that you're afraid to communicate your truth and you're too afraid of being heartbroken by it and too afraid of heartbreaking somebody else. But are they really even holding that like value all the way? Like, that's a big question, you know, do they really value you? Or maybe there's a relief to kind of bring it up. I think that there's a relief, you know, like, don't be so afraid to bring up, you know, what's not serving you and not that you are not wanting to hold on to right now in the relationship, or that you're feeling it's not growing anymore with. Like, don't be afraid of that shit. I mean, you did get home. I mean, this is a big deal. I mean, here's a good question, you know, and this might be, you know, for the younger generation, I don't know, but like, if you are not able to build a beautiful, amazing home of fortune with this person right now, like, you're already in the wrong energy. Like, you know, if you feel like that there is not fortune coming to the foundation of this, then there's a problem. If there is, then these are issues that can compromise that beautiful energy and the home-like energy that you are going to be dealing with. That's a good way to look at this. So if you're unable to have a nice home, secure, emotional feeling, and you're single, you have issues with your home life. If you are in a beautiful state with your home life, with your partner, then it's some things that are cautious that you need to bring up that could take that away. If you are in a relationship and you want to be in a home life situation, but there's just no way to be in that place, like, is that really the fortune that you're trying to control that you think is fortunate? I don't think so. I'm just trying to give very clear stuff to people that they have questions about. You pulled the mask on, so you got masquerade. Like, you know, I think that you're masking all of your issues. I think that you're masking your pain. I think that you're masking, especially stuff with dealing with things that you really want to do, but you're pulling yourself back, and then you're acting like you're blind, but everybody can see through it. And so, you know, you're easily readable at this moment and people can see through the mask. So wearing the mask makes you look stupid because we see why you're wearing the mask. Like, just do what you have to do, say what you want to say, be what you really want to be, instead of fooling around like with yourself. What does Ganesh have to say?
Ganesh is about to get buck wild on these Virgos.
Well, Ganesha came up with innocence. You know, I always pick another card with this one because I'm like, what is the innocence about? I mean, sure, you could say I'm wearing the mask because I'm an innocent, beautiful human being. I would agree. But I also feel that, being innocent is also being honest, right? Like the innocence of a young child, like being real, like, Mom, I just broke the toy. Like, that's innocent. Like, I didn't mean to break the toy. Like, there's an element here of like, you need to bring out your true innocence instead of masking it up. Like, I feel like you're masking yourself up. Like, you're looking like crazy people that are driving in their cars with a mask on. Like, but you might not be doing that, but you're actually doing that in your relationship world right now. I'll pull another card. What's that innocence about? Oh, King of Wands reverse. You're too afraid to show up with passion and what you really want. So you're playing like, oh, I'm just innocent, but I don't. No, I'm happy. No, you're not happy. King of Wands reversed. You don't feel like, you're with somebody that's fucking powerful enough, or they're not showing they're powerful enough, or it's the power that, is putting you into places that make you feel innocent in the wrong way. Or maybe you're being blamed for certain things. I flipped that around. Like, you're the reason of the fucking issues or whatever. Or you're dealing with like a partner who just doesn't like know how to like be honest and innocent about their love life. There could be that too. I'm not going to say that about everyone, but the innocence is put it this way. I think that the complication for Virgos is realizing that you can still be innocent and be a boss when it comes to your love life. If you're single, you pulled the Knight of Swords. You definitely are. Some knight is coming to save and rescue you or trade you, but also like make sure that you know who that person is. Somebody's coming in really quick, but like they might try to rescue you off your feet, and make sure it's for the right reasons. Also, that also might be what you're looking for if you're single, but make sure it's for the right reasons. Make sure that they're not coming in to save the day to put you through control. But also, I think that somebody's coming in quick to gauge this whole control thing of the fortune that you're missing out on, which you could not miss out on. If you're in a relationship, you pulled the Emperor card. It almost feels like, you're not having the strength to say what you really want or have the relationship be the way that you want to be. And you're probably dealing with your partner and you're seeing like this kind of like overextended element of trying to be something that they're not able to be. And it might be unattractive to you at the moment. And you might not feel secure with where your partner is and their strength right now. And you're going to have to work through those issues. If you are watching, Astro Dice said, 4th house here, Jupiter, home life situation, Taurus. Yeah, understanding the emotions and the values and making sure that the security there is what you really want. And are you able to build a beautiful foundation that's going to expand? Is your foundation expanding in your emotional foundation of the relationship? Or is something being built or is not? Is it just kind of like floundering?
It's easy to flounder. It's kind of easy to get lost in ourselves. And there's times where we kind of need to take a step back and just breathe so that we're actually able to communicate. So we're actually able to form complete sentences in our mind and express ourselves. We can get lost very easily in the words or the emotions that are coming up when we're trying to speak our truth or speak to someone that we love or speak to someone that we're trying to fall in love with. Sometimes we force that as well. And we can kind of get wrapped up in that and we lose our thought process. We lose what we're actually trying to get that out into the world. So I think it's really important to kind of not waste your time, not slow yourself down, but actually focus on the meaning of what you're trying to get out there into the world. Focus on that breath. Focus on your truth.
Yeah, I'm listening to chat and somebody put a pizza up and everybody's like, why are you putting a pizza up? That's probably not the right pizza. The pizza's not a cool emoji anymore nowadays to not put up. You know what I mean?
No, it's not.
Like, that's the last one.
No pizza parties here.
Like, there's no, like, I don't ever know if that emoji will ever be used again by anybody in the world. And those people that do use them, everybody puts a big question mark around them. Like, I'm not saying that in the chat. I think it was an innocent one. But it's like, just putting the warning out there to those that still are maybe using that one. Like, just like call somebody and be like, should we get a pizza? Opposed to putting the emoji. It's definitely not. It's not sexy. And especially you might blow a date if we're talking about love. If you were like in your fucking dating apps and you were like, yo, fucking pizzas. We got Aquarius. How are we doing? How many more do we have left, right?
We're on number 8, I believe. I think maybe we got 4 or 5 left.
I think we're on 5 left because we have Aquarius and 4 more left. So
look at me.
All right.
Look at me just knowing things off the top of my head.
You just know so much, Craig. It's
Many things.
Incredible how much you know, Craig.
So many things.
Actually, it's very true. Actually, did you see your Coleman lantern came in from fucking 1970?
I did not see that, no.
It's up right in the front.
Is that what that open box was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even look. I mean, it was just an open box sitting there. I just figured it was
I bought
for
Craig
someone
a
else,
fucking,
not for me.
Coleman fucking gas lantern from 1970, refurbished. It's like super fucking balmy.
I'm going to be the unhermited hermit in Utah, walking around with my lantern.
Well, for those that don't know, we do have a meetup happening at Please Don't Trip, pleasedon'ttrip.com. We are going to be out there. It is from June 11th through the 14th. You can buy tickets to be part of it. I'm also going to be doing a big headline for the spiritual sector of the whole festival for astrology. And then, of course, on the dance side of things, I'll be doing DJing. And then Craig and I are going to have a high vibe camp and do some meetups. We are going to be doing our own thing for high vibers. We're going to have so many awesome things. You can meet us in person. Nope, you don't need the shot. None of that shit. The true, real deal. Living in the fucking real world. Having the time of our lives. For 4 days out there with us. You just take care of your own, camping and all that stuff.
Take care of everything.
There's hotels that are like 11 miles away from the festival. So definitely check it out. Pleasedon'ttrip.com. This thing is getting big. I just got word from the promoter. It's going to be a big, big time. It's going to be honestly, Craig and I have been talking about it. This is going to be the best thing of the year. And
100%.
We haven't been able to do, how long was it since? I think it was New Year's Eve of 2020 was the last time we did an event. So
yeah,
it's been a year and a half, and this event's going to be awesome. And so, we're going to be out there doing our thing, and it's going to be awesome. And if you want to see me and Craig and do our thing, and if you want to see me do a big astrology talk at the whole festival, and if you also want to see me DJ live on a main fucking stage at a festival, then definitely join us. And also we're going to have some cool stuff at night and stars, and it's going to be awesome. It's up at 9,000 feet. So.
The freaks come out at night.
Oh, and when you go to pleasedon'ttrip.com, when you exit out for tickets, make sure that you put in where it asks for the code, just put in Leo King all in caps. LEOKING. All right. Aquarius. You did get the Nine of Wands as your first card. You did get as your challenge the Chariot card. You hit the Two of Swords in reversed here as your overall, and you did get the Devil card. To wait to get through this. Wow. Well, what are you so afraid of right now, Aquarius? About something about where you're holding something in and it's time to take the leap. You know you must do it. I think the Devil card is just like not the dark side of the Devil, the positive side, which is like, why don't you do what you want? Like this Chariot is take the leap for what you want with the Devil. But it's like you're holding back, and this Two of Swords in reversed is like too afraid to, you know what you must say and must do. You can't contemplate anymore, but you're still like holding yourself back. Whether it's telling your partner, I'm not into this, or telling somebody you like them. It could be as simple as that. Or you've gotten an offer and you don't know what to do if you're single. If you're in a relationship, there's some really weird situation that has not been dealt with fully yet that you are too afraid to get to the bottom of. If you're dating, same thing. You did get the Fool reverse. So, this is stupid to keep holding the same position in your whole love life story, single or not single or whatever. The way that your love life's been going, it is retarded at this point. And I know some people don't like that word because it associates it, but I don't. I'm just saying it because it just is retarded. It's retarded to continue to just hold this stupid line of like, I'm going to just hold this line of like what I don't want to deal with, what I do, but I do. Like you're the Fool reversed here. Or you could be dealing with a partner who's got a lot of walls up and it's like, what, you're going to keep dealing with that? Or they're in controlling of the relationship and having you feel like a dumbass staying in the same spot. Or you're a single person who's staying in the same spot when this is your biggest transit in 18 years. There's nothing coming like this in 18 more years about love. You will never see anything this great about love. No, the North Node and Uranus are meeting in Taurus. They're not going to meet in Gemini. Think about that one. But this Mercury and Venus, this North Node, these eclipses are happening with the North Node in your 5th house of love. So you either fuck this one up or not. Pretty simple. Oh. You pulled the 7 of Pentacles. It's time to put the work in for what you really want. You know what it is. Like you don't act like you've already contemplating what you really want to do and what the return is, but you know there's work involved. And I feel like you're stalling because you know you've got to make a change and you got to put the investment in. You got to do the work. I think this Devil card's trying to say, hey, let's go. Let's take the leap. Let's go. The Chariot's like a whole new world. Like, let's take it. Let's follow the divine. Let's go. And this is a challenge. It's like making the big change, making the big leap, doing something that you've never done before. Be an Aquarius. Try something crazy. Try something different. Be honest. Be real. Be the weird one in the relationship. Be the weird one that you're going to try a relationship with somebody. Just say, fucking throw it out. Throw the pasta on the wall. You'd be an idiot not to. An Aquarius that didn't throw pasta on the wall upside down in their underwear, fucking scratching their fucking butt while spraying deodorant on, while singing fucking hip hip hooray would not be an Aquarius. And you're an Aquarius. So if you're not in that kind of energy to be in your love life, like, I don't know what the fuck you're doing, because if you're going to try and just be normal and disconnected and try to please people, you're going to lose on this one. You're going to lose in your love life. You pulled Mercury retrograde. Oh, in your 5th house, rethinking about your whole love story. Yeah, that's what you're doing because you feel like a dumbass and a fool about how you've been holding this stupid line, the peacock, your ego, if I can try to show off like, I'm holding this great line. It's working. And you know it's not. You know it's not. Boom, divine masculine. It's time to take fucking, look at that. That's what the Devil kind of came through with here with the Chariot. Like, it's time to initiate. It's time to take action. And it's time to take a big chance on the truth of your love. And also, it's time to activate and initiate. You can no longer stand still and stay in this defensive little weird mode and be the weirdo out there in space all alone. And even when you're with somebody all alone, you got to throw some crazy pasta at the wall and see what sticks, what doesn't. And fuck it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. At least you did. It will lead you to the right place. Oh my gosh. You are having issues if you're in a relationship, if you even want to be with the person or not. Perchance a dream to be or not to be. That is the question. And if you're single, you're on the fence about whether or not you should really go for what you really want to. And you're like, well, I don't know. And that's a problem because you're probably afraid to do the work that's going to take to get the return of what you want. And there's a lot of fear-based here, energy, and there's a lot of rethinking here, and there's a lot trying to activate and do it, and you feel it, and you're like, but, there's no buts. The only butt you should be doing is licking a butt. That's it.
The south mouth. Is that what you're referring to?
Yes. Or if you're a lady, your butt should be getting licked, right? Guys should be licking butts of girls, okay. You know what? Whenever I see this card, you're going to persevere. But, you know, the idea of perseverance to me is such a fucking weird one with love, because I feel, especially in this moment, if you're going to persevere, you need to make turns in new directions. Doesn't mean you stay on the same path. Perseverance is whatever the situation, you adjust and keep going. Why'd we get that perseverance? Boom, Page of Swords, the truth that you need to communicate and speak. You need to throw it up on the wall. Look at that fucking cat, which you're learning to be. Well, it's actually a bull. Like, knowing your value and your worth. Look at the bull that's jumping, right? When pigs fly, when cows fly, like fucking whatever, like that's when your love life is true in this moment. Because the truth is when it's so crazy and you do the crazy thing and you honestly say your truth and you persevere, is preserving at the same time your truth, because you're going to persevere by taking a leap of faith into your truth, no matter how crazy it fucking is. Except intruding on people's space that you don't know and shit like that. There's always limits to some of that shit. If you're single out there, 10 of Swords reverse. You're finally done with this same repetitive pattern bullshit that you keep doing. You do the same pattern and you need to break the cycle. You need to figure out what it is. I feel like you're ready, though, to break it, but you also, I think, need to face it. You need to understand what that pattern is, and you need to close the pattern and see if you're moving forward or not with somebody or just with your love life and doing the same thing over and over again. If you're in a relationship, Aquarius, boom, 7 of Cups. There's other options out there, or there's other things in the relationship that it needs to look at, but there's also a lot of prizes out there that are glimmering you. And usually when I see this in a relationship reading, it's like you're looking at other shades of what could be. And that's usually a problem when you haven't been dealing with the issues that need to be dealt with here. All that glitters is gold. Too many things are glittering right now, Aquarius. Saturn in the 3rd house in Gemini. I mean, look at the communication is Page of Swords. Look at, like, I can't, you know what? Talk, be honest, say the shit you need to say. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out on everything. And you're also going to be in the most ungodly, false truth of all time.
Which is out of whack. It's throwing your internal solar system, your internal universe out of whack. Where you're not living in that truth and you don't have the strength to actually close the doors behind you. Sometimes we kind of leave them cracked because we want to still be able to peek into that. We want to be able to peek into the past. We want to be able to peek into our ex's life. We want to be able to peek into what we thought our life should be, and that's not going to benefit what our life is actually going to be, what we're actually moving forward to. So have that strength, have that courage to actually close the door behind you and move forward. Reinvent yourself, so to speak. You don't need to create the wheel. You know, that's not what we're doing. But you are creating that new aspect of your life. You are creating and tapping into that strength that you have inside yourself that maybe got lost for a bit. Maybe you didn't think that you had it. Maybe you thought that you ran out of the abundance of love. It's still there. You still got it. You just got to have that strength to find it.
Everybody's saying that you need to turn your mic up.
I do?
That's what people are saying, yeah.
Well, okay. I'll just talk. I will just talk louder then. How about that?
There it is.
Yeah, there we go. You know, sometimes just kind of fade out just a little bit.
You know, I've done even my Teal Swan interview from 2014. I was just talking loud. She was talking soft, and everybody's like, "Why did you bump it up?" I'm like, "They did the interview." Like, I love Teal Swan. She's awesome, but I was like talking loud, and then everybody like made. He's an egomaniac. He talks loud.
I'm
like,
still learning to project.
I just talk loud. You know what I mean? Who's next? We have got Scorpio.
I'll be loud for this.
Let's hear that. Let's see it. You can't promise people loud.
I'll
be
turn it up. Oh, let me put this. let me put that little party, because it ain't no party like a Scorpio party, baby. It's a Scorpio party, baby. Please don't trip.com. Come get weird with me in the forest.
Show him that Mount Baldy.
Yeah. The Mount of the Baldy.
You would love to see the cascade, the cascading peaks of Baldies.
I will definitely be enjoying myself.
Craig is a single man. What's going on with Scorpios? I thought we would use this Vampers deck. Let's see what is going on. I have been seeing a lot of things going on for Scorpios right now. You know what? Actually, the truth is this. Actually, it's the first time in my life Scorpios are the hardest to read because they're in their true hidden self. Like, you just don't know. Every Scorpio I know, like, I just don't really know what their love lives are like. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know. So
Actively diving into it.
we got the Page of Wands in reversed here. We got the Magician reversed as your challenge. We got the 8 of Wands, though, upright as the overall. Look at that. Charging for that Mount Baldy. Whoop. Some good news there. And the way you get through this is the 7 of Cups in reversed. This is actually good. This is about focusing. I feel like this has kind of been the message, but, you know, whenever I see the Page of Wands in reverse at the beginning of the reading, it's like, okay, like, you need to be the initiator more of what you're saying. Like, you need to like be a little bit more like, hey, this is kind of what I want. If you're looking at a partner, or you're looking at your partnership right now and you want to get more out of them, you're not going to get it. You have to be the initiator. So don't expect people to show up. Put more energy into speaking what you want right now. You be more active in what you're saying. It was funny. You were talking about that Scorpios are active. The Magician card reversed. I think this is not the worst. I think it's like, for you, maybe it'll feel like, are things coming together? Because I feel like the Magician card is like, if my magic trick's not working, or the alchemy's not coming together. But that's a challenge, because when the Seven of Cups comes up, there's lots of options, but it's reversed. It's saying that you can't do too many spells at once. You can't do too many magic tricks at once. You got to focus on one, right? It's like if you're going to try and cook, when you put too many fucking dishes you're trying to cook at once, it's too much. That's why I used to love the old Top Chef, when they would do shit and they would try and like make a whole thing, and they like, oh my God, I got too many things on right now, right? And they burn one of the things. For you, it's like the magic's going to come from you initiating more communication with a singular energy, narrowing the field down. And then look at this. The overall is this Eight of Wands. It's going to come towards you. So like, I really like this Page of Wands reversed, because it's forcing you to engage more in specific areas that you don't feel like are coming together, and you can't expect them to come together unless you just have to communicate more. And then it's almost like you're getting this like leap of energy, your partner, or if you're single, a partnership that you're looking for to leap towards you by focusing more. And so Scorpio, you got to focus more on who it is or what person that is going to be. You got that because you did get the Three of Pentacles there. It's time to stop looking at too many options. There's too many of that. Seven of Cups reversed, also Three of Pentacles reversed. Even if you are in a relationship, there's some questions here about, you're looking at other people, or you're talking to too many people, or you're just wasting too many times with friends or stuff like that. There's definitely, though, a little bit of weird love triangles coming to an end here because of you making the initiation of where you're going. Or maybe this could be the misconception that somebody thinks you're talking to too many people when you're not, and you have to make the clear that you're not, right? So there's that whole thing is going to come around clarity that you can't expect others to show up, because maybe they're getting the wrong perception of you. They need to know what it is. And that's funny that even I said before this reading, I'm like, yeah, I really don't know what Scorpios are really like going through in their personal lives as friends and as people, or people I see that I know are Scorpios on Instagram. It's like, what's going on with your love life? I no idea. It's very kind of like behind the scenes. So we're just kind of misreading all this. Seven of Swords in reverse. I mean, this is definitely what I was just saying. I feel like, people are going to come towards you once they know what's going on or what you want. Because I feel like, we can get misread when we get the Seven of Swords, especially in love. And we can feel like there's lies or deceit when there's not. It's reversed here. And so I feel like, people are going to come jumping towards you once they know the clarity, more clarity. Like if you want the freaking person in your life, like be more direct when you're talking to them. Or if you want your partner to show up more in your life in certain ways, or you want to do something, maybe go on vacation, or maybe you want to do something and they haven't responded the way you want to and you're expecting to, like initiate stronger, initiate clearer. Things will come together. Focus on the dream only that you want to happen, not too many, or it's not going to work out. You did get Sixth House routine. I mean, this is definitely getting specific on an area and putting all of your energy towards it that you're going to master, because there's a mastery about the Sixth House, about refinement. So I think that you're refining what you're saying and refining where you're going, and also at the same time kind of clearing up some energy of like where maybe you've just been thinking about, well, where are things, or who are things, or is it this person, or is it that person, or what is it in my relationship? We're going all over the place here. It's like refine things. Get a pattern going too, where you're calling each other every day, or you're speaking to each other every day, or maybe you're doing something like get this stuff like kind of embedded in your reality. Because I feel like there's an issue with things staying embedded in the reality with the Sixth House here, and the Magician card reverses the challenge. To make it in your reality, you got to initiate more, and you got to stay to it, and you got to stay on it and create sometimes a routine, simple stuff there. You did get the Shadow card. So there is something about people not able to see you clearly, especially maybe you not being able to see other people's clearly. So I feel like it's either the person is not seeing you clearly and they think there's something else there when there's not, or you seeing something else there when it's not. And there's got to be clarity here because things aren't coming together, because things are kind of in the shadow. And there's also like not enough talk about what the dream is, like in the specific dream, what the gift is. What is the gift that you both want from each other? What is the gift that you want from this person? What is the gift that they want from you? That needs to come out. You're the initiator this week, not them. So Don't start trying to understand their shadow or be in the shadows by not initiating me being more direct. Trust me, being a Leo, I know I get all I want for love, always what I want, because I get very clear of like, what do you want? Like, what do you want to do? What's going to happen? Da, 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 da. Like, I want this from you. Da, da, da. I don't want this. I'm not into you. I'm into you. Da, da, da. Clarity. That's very, very powerful for you right now. Your shadow card that you did get is, I think that you're too focused on what to attract somebody with when you don't need to be. It's just about the communication and the clarity. They're already attracted to you. So if you're having issues or thinking like you have to like swoon them in some sort of way, the swooning is by being what you really want, which is very direct and precise of what you really want. That's all it is. I think that the shadow is like you have to show off a certain way or maybe look a certain way. No, they're already into you. So it's like, or your partner's already into you. It's just like, get clear. Get clear on love. Like, what do you want from love? Like, bring that out. Bring it out. Not easy sometimes for Scorpios. What does Ganesha have to say?
Oh, Ganesha.
This is probably the best reading of all the readings so far.
Hell yeah.
Look at this. Generosity. I feel like generosity is like you being generous enough. Again, generosity is an action that somebody takes. It's yourself or somebody's taking. You're in the place where you're going to feel the generosity of the love that they're going to offer you by you being generous enough to offer the initiation of what the clarity is about this love. So there's a beautiful element. There's something very fucking generous coming your way, but at the same time, it's through your generosity of like opening up the gift more, like opening up the gift by speaking the gift and being more clear and being more direct. And hey, fuck it. Sometimes you just got to like put it all out there. Like, what else is going to happen? You know, there's nothing to lose at this point. You want things to be very generous about. And generosity is also that you have enough abundance to be generous with. So if you want the abundance of this, you have to be willing to be generous with the abundance that you are offering too, and what you're wanting. And also like maybe giving the gift to somebody of like what they want to hear that they don't know. If you're single out there, 5 of Cups, like get over the old past story, or if you're feeling like things aren't going my way or getting in sorrow, or if you're dealing with somebody who's going through really traumatic sorrow right now, you're not here to be their fucking savior, okay? If you are in a relationship, 8 of Swords. You feel really trapped in a toxic place maybe, and maybe you need to rely on your partner to help you to get out of it. Maybe you've gotten stuck in a negative aspect, or you're tripping on something, or maybe your partner's very toxic right now, and you need to be clear on that and how to fix that, if there's a way to even do that. But you're trapped in the relationship in some sort of way, in some sort of area, definitely probably around like some sort of confusion, and maybe they're not feeling attracted as much, or maybe you believe that, and you want them to come towards you more. Well, I think a lot of it has to deal with, you facing a lot of the music and being honest and generous and communicating what it is. The Astro Dice are... We have the part of fortune and Taurus in the first house. So, yeah, the fortune that you are here to offer, that you have, that you need to make clear to somebody. Simple.
Oh, so speaking our emotions.
Huh?
Letting people in?
Yes, but letting people know you want them
terrifying.
Bad.
That can be terrifying. It can be hard. At least I'll speak for myself. It can be hard fully addressing our emotions, the wide range that we're feeling, and how we can express that to the individual that we're interested in, or even the individual that we're in a relationship with, that we're in love with. It can be tough. It can be tough because we get stuck in our head, we get stuck in our body. So I think that it is really about kind of opening ourselves up so we can welcome that in, opening up the transformation and allow that process to actually take part in our life. Are we going to allow these individuals to be the love that we want? Are we going to allow them to be that love that we know that they can be, or are we going to kind of shut ourselves off and go back into our cave? It's not going to be beneficial if we do that. So I think it is time that we put ourselves out there. It is time that we fully express ourselves, and it is time that we show that love. Shout it up into the universe, baby. Shout it up.
Yeah, it's all about just getting on that line, right? Like walking on the line.
I'll walk the line.
In my past experiences, when I tell somebody that I'm a little nervous about, that I like them, I just say it. Like, what else do I got to lose? Like, hey, I just want to let you know I think you're really hot. I really like you. I really want to see what's there. Boom, that opens the door, and that's it. From there, the universe takes off with magic or not.
Hey, last time you said take chances, and took some chances, so we'll see.
There we go. This is taking the ultimate chance.
Oh, damn. Leveling up. Level it up.
The ultimate chance. we have got Aries now. All the strong signs are last. Sorry. Just some truth. All right. Let's see what's going on, Aries, with your love life this week with these eclipses. Fire lunar eclipse too.
Fire.
Fire
Fire on the mountain.
Yeah, last lunar eclipses in fire were the ones in Leo that were back in 2018. So there was one in 2019 at the very beginning, January. So that was the last time. It's been 2.5 years since we had a fire lunar eclipse. All right, let's see what's going on with the first card that you got. You got the Nine of Pentacles. You got as your challenge the Eight of Cups. You got as your overall here the Two of Pentacles in reversed. And the way you get through this is the Eight of Wands reversed. Well, knowing your value, knowing your worth is very important right now. And also not, if you're single or whatever, not giving that up for something that's not worthy of it, especially with this Eight of Cups here. There's a challenge here of, you might be on the fence about walking away from somebody or walking away from a situation that you've kind of started because your value is not there. But this Two of Pentacles reversed is, I would say overall, you're not going to be on the fence about things anymore. But the reminder is this Eight of Wands reversed is like, are you sure you're going in the right direction about walking away? I'm going to just say that for some areas. Like, it could be just a contemplation. I think that we're going to have to look much deeper in this Nine of Pentacles here and see why that's coming up. We got the Moon card reversed. So these are deep emotions that you're going through of your value and your worth that, are kind of being suppressed, or you're not feeling in love or relationships that need to be known and owning that value. But are you owning that value because, you're not getting what you want emotionally? Are you not expressing yourself emotionally? And then you're trying to overcompensate and look apart to attract more of what you want or look more attractive. Like, I think the more attractive part is you letting the weird emotions out and stop suppressing the emotions. And I feel like this Nine of Pentacles can almost feel like, for some areas, like just trying to do things alone too much, but that's like suppressing a lot of the feelings. I also feel like for some areas they're going after people that aren't working. Unless you're in a relationship that's been working for a long time, like Aries, like you're trying to make something work by thinking you have the value to make it work, but you're not getting the emotions you want. If you're in a long-term relationship, there's just some emotional stuff that needs to come up here that are important to you. And I think that, the challenge here is like how to end the situation that might be conflicting at the moment within your emotional self. And they say to Wands reversed is saying like, that's the way you get through this is like, maybe not, there's no expectation here that's going to work. I think it's just more of like getting over some minor bumps here. I think even if for those that are dating, like, it's like, these are some bumps that like, you got to really pay attention on whether or not, it's worthy of the big walk away. This Two of Pentacles reversed is really weird because, it did come with the Eight of Wands reversed again. I feel like there's too much feeling like it's not going the right direction when really it's not that it's going any direction at all that's right or wrong. I think that a lot of this is just paying attention to the energy of like what you value and the beauty that you have within yourself, and why are some of these emotions in yourself feeling a little bit off or a little bit suppressed, and not being afraid to bring them out into the open. This doesn't have to be like, and again, the Eight of Wands feels like no emotion. Maybe you feel like nothing's coming to you the way that you want to be came to you. Maybe your partner's been a little disconnected, or you feel like they've walked away energetically. That could be the challenge here. But they're showing that don't buy into that. They haven't walked away. They're there. They're just, maybe it's been weird times. I feel like, like these are just like weird emotional stuff to go through here. You didn't look at that. You pulled the Cancer card. You're definitely a little bit emo. You're going to have to be aware of that emo-ness. And it's about, I think, to get out of your emo is like stepping into the abundance of who you are yourself, the things that you enjoy, the hobbies that you like to do, and remembering you have those at this moment, but also that brings you happiness and joy, which then attracts more happiness and joy into your life. Maybe you've been kind of not doing that as much lately, or maybe it's been tiring. Maybe there's a new hobby to do or something of value more that you could be doing to do things. I do feel, though, the only negative is to those that are trying relationships that consistently don't work. It's like this thing just constantly is fucking not working. And so this is an emotional issue, and that you're too attached emotionally and you're not looking at the value of who you are. If you got nature spirits, yeah, I would say that, you know, what natural spirit energy works. And also at the same time, like, look at this from a natural point of view instead of this kind of ultra, like, I'm not getting what I want or somebody's walking away. Like find the natural flow in things instead of looking at the over dramaticism of things at the moment, and calm things down with this Cancer and this nature spirits card. Like, get back in touch with the natural part of everything instead of like this ultra, this is it, or that's it, or your shadow that you got here is the queen of my world. So that Nine of Pentacles, the only issue, Aries, this week is you demanding too much and you expecting too much. And I think that also pushes people away too at the same time, right? Like, so if you're going to demand too much and ask for too much, you're not going to get it, and that's not going to make you happy, and that's going to turn into a negative situation here really fast. But you're not taking care of yourself emotionally. You're suppressing some stuff from yourself. Nurture, look, you just want to be nurtured. You just want to be held. You just want to let be known it's okay. And maybe you need, you know, being nurturing, you have to, like, the baby cries to get nurtured. Now, I'm not saying that you need to go be a crybaby, although you do got Cancer here. And I know, you know, Aries out there, fucking the Warriors, and Mars in Cancer. So, yeah, it's definitely like you got to put the signals out that you want nurturing. And I think that's the issue. I think that you're having an issue with nurturing at the moment. I don't feel like maybe your partner doesn't know, or maybe the person that you're trying to date is not nurturing and they don't know, or maybe that you've tried and they can't do it, or they can't hold the home life or stuff like that. So that's going to be your way of understanding this stuff. If you are single out there, you did get the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I feel like you're having troubles trying to start something with somebody. You're having troubles trying to create the physical aspect of things. Or that person is in kind of in between moments of them trying to get their physical life going, and maybe you should back off a little bit before they figure that out, you know. If that's the case with anybody, like, that's a signal, that's not going to be able to nurture. If you're in a relationship, the Emperor, definitely I think that this is you getting your strength again by realizing that it's okay to ask for nurturing in your relationship. It's okay to ask for help, which is kind of hard for you. Of course, not demanding it though, I think, but showing the strength through kindness, strength through, you know, being, you know, wanting that. Maybe that will turn your partner on even more than you even realize, that they want to be there nurturing for you, and, you know, they're there for you. And I think that if you have the strength to do that and step into that, this is your card, the Emperor card. I mean, there's a part of you where it's like, this is a new part of the power that you're stepping into, which is the nurturing aspect. I always feel like you do the nurturing, but where's the nurturing back to you? Which you're not asking for, though. 10th house, Virgo, Mars. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, you know, taking, I think, a much better step to initiate what you want in your life and creating a better reality by making it known and recognized about what your aim is to better your life. I think that this is a way for you to better your life and the partners you're choosing, or to really in your relationship life get a plan going that actually gets things running like a tighter ship.
Yeah, because sometimes we expect too much out of our partners, you know, and we expect too much out of the relationship. Like, they should be able to know what's on our mind. They should know what we're feeling, and when in all reality they don't. You know, we keep it bottled inside, and that's not going to be healthy for you. Then that's not going to be healthy for the relationship. You have to be able to feel comfortable in your own skin. You have to be able to feel comfortable in the relationship and with that person to be able to show all those raw emotions. And if you're not comfortable, if you're not able to show that, then what are you even doing with that individual? If you don't trust them enough to let your guard down and to let them see you fully, then I'd say that's a waste of time in my book. If you can't be fully upfront, 100% true with yourself, with your partner, then there's going to be a lack of that communication right there, and a lack of that emotional connection and bond that's going to be such a beautiful and such a pivotal part of any relationship. So be open and be free and express yourself fully without that fear, without that doubt in your mind.
Boom. Well, and I think people in there were saying, like, yeah, sometimes I'm with an Aries and I want to nurture them, but they're always saying they're too busy. Right? It's like, I got a feeling Aries this week are willing to kind of be like, hey, like, yo, like, I could use some of that. So keep hope alive for people, you know, and don't force things on others ever. It never works. Like, I was reading that comment. I'm like, the thing with an Aries is you don't tell them what to do, right? You don't tell them like, I want to nurture you. Let me nurture you. It's like you let them get to that place and you sit and you watch them. With an Aries, it can be hard, but there's a lot of people who like Aries because of their courage and their strength in a lot of other areas that they're always there to save the day and make things happen. So you got to just kind of, let things naturally take their course and get it out of your expectation of people, like, because that never does really well in any relationship ever. Geminis, this one's a big one. These are the ones that are going through some big transits, especially the lunar eclipse in their 7th house relationships. So, Gemini, let's see what's going on for you for your birthday season. Happy birthday and your love life. Let's see what's happening in the cards. Your first card that you got here is the Four of Swords. You challenge is the Queen of Cups. And your overall is Temperance card. And you did get the Ace of Wands, so to get through this. So, this Four of Swords is feeling not like all over the place, but feeling grounded and feeling whole. But again, it's a sword card, so it's not a physical card. It's in the mind. It's a place that we know we're going that feels right. And the question here is if the emotions feel right. The question is if you feel like right now this is a place emotionally that you're ready to do relationships or you're ready for that. The Temperance card is saying take your time and make sure that things feel natural and flow right. And this Ace of Wands is saying that there is something burning bright here to move in the right direction. So there's a lot of positive aspects here. But I think that the questions come to this Queen of Cups. Like there's something emotionally off. It might be exciting. It might feel safe. It might feel like it's taking its natural course the right way. But why is it feeling that the emotions are that empty? You can be excited about things, but still not be emotionally like, God, like I just, trust me. When the emotions are there, that's what changes like a make out to like, I am in ecstasy. Okay? We're going to find out what's going on. Got the Eight of Cups reversed. Something feels safe, but almost too safe. And you're too afraid to walk away from that because it's the only safe thing at the moment. I think this is about keeping your options open. I don't think you need to walk away from somebody, but I think that you need to keep your emotional options open right now, Gemini. Because I think that you can find safe places, but at the same time, there's some part of you that's like, okay, I'm not ready to leave, but, I kind of am, because that Queen of Cups there is kind of like, I'm not getting the emotional thing. That's the challenge. And the way you get through the challenge is lighting it up. But at the same time, I got a weird feeling with this Temperance card here and whatever's going to come with it. Another Four of Swords. Being comfortable is one thing, but I feel like there's a lot of like, I feel like it doesn't have the, you're trying, you need to keep your emotional options open because you need to really see, like, it's nice to have things that form naturally. It's nice to have things that feel like they're natural, but I almost feel like being a Gemini, especially because your love house is like Libra, and especially that you are somebody who are going through a lot of intense energies, Mercury retrograde here, square Neptune and all that, like that's the numbness. No matter how much fire you can bring to the numbness, you can't get it away. The only thing that gets rid of numbness is feeling. You need to get deeper into where, and light up with that Ace of Wands, where are the feelings that will bring you passion and happiness, and see if those are able to be had. Don't walk away from this thing, but definitely get clear on what that is. But it also, I'm going to be honest, because I'm a reader. When I see a Temperance card and a Four of Swords, it's very, it's secure and it's beautiful, but it's missing edge. It's missing passion. This is a card reading that shows that you're missing passion. Everything else is good. Like And so the question really comes to the question at this point in these eclipses with this lunar eclipse here, which is emotional in your 7th house, by the way, because it's the moon. Why is there a missing emotional element? Like the belief is good that maybe the one day the emotional will get there, but that's in the illusion. The grand trine, blessings. But it's a water grand trine. All parts of the emotional point have to hit. The home, do you want to live with this person? The sex, is it out of control, crazy, beautiful? And the spiritual. Are they on the same level with you spiritually? That's where the blessings are in the real home. And especially if you see the cross here and the 4 of swords in this one, there's one sword that's on the bed, and then there's 3 swords, and there's this cross, and then there's the ultimate cross looking up. So it's like, I feel like all parts have to find a way, including there's a part of you that also has to have the emotional happiness within your own bed that you lay in at night about these things. And you got it twice. And this one, all 3 are up high, of course, and there's the one sword in the bed. There's a part of this where it's like, how are you going to get all these parts to come together while feeling that you're feeling like secure? There's a great blessing that you're learning through all this, but the blessing seems to be like you found something safe. Is that what lights you up? That's going to be the question. You did pull the spiritual cleansing card. This could be something that you've been going through in your relationship. If you're in a relationship where you guys are clearing a lot of the past things that emotionally need to be dealt with and finding that passion again. If you're engaging in a relationship or you're single and you're dating, this is definitely like needing to realize that, you know, the excitement is one thing, but the excitement that's missing something, you got to do some spiritual work on what's needing to be cleared. Maybe it's a past relationship. Maybe it's the past that needs to be cleared, or maybe that person hasn't cleared their past yet, or maybe you don't know enough about their past. I'm getting that one. Because it's like, it's so high, the Ace of Wands, and it's, you know, but the Queen of Cups there is like, I know the past. I know I'm holding all of it. Like what the fuck? Like, I don't see it. Like, there's too many, like, okay, it's like when things are safe too quick and there's not a little bit of edge and a little bit of, I don't know, and especially this Temperance card, we're going to see with the Shadow. Peaceful among the thorns. I cannot make this shit up. Gemini, things are too easy. I know that sounds crazy. The passion in the water needs to ignite here for the blessings. And maybe there's going to be something this week that finally brings that together or not. But I feel like it's much more of people that are on the fence about going into relationship or dating. I think long-term partnerships are clearing out some past issues in the relationship that have been kind of dogging the passion, and that you're getting through that and getting out of this kind of like, we found a safe space, but that's not the best place to be. I mean, let's be honest. The world is filled with safe spaces now, and we all know who filled those holes are the people that are fucking losers. So losers. So they are. They lose. They fucking suck. So there's actual real safe places like therapy or your family, or, you know, like people that actually want to do the work and help you get through your energy instead of just staying in a safe place just to stay safe and go nowhere. That's the issue. Whether you're in a love relationship wise, or you're dating, this thing is too safe and too easy and too boring. You know, like too, like, it's missing that element of the passion. Ganesha is courage. Oof. Well, courage of, you know, you can bring that passion into it, or the courage of, you know, which is radical, passionate love. The Leo lion is here, you know. And I think that this is definitely where it's time to have the courage to face the facts. And also, when it's too safe, you don't have the courage to make new risks or to bring new change or to find out what the emotional issue is. So it's time to have the courage to be honest. It's time to have the courage to see if you bring a little bit of edge into it, the courage to do something different to see if the emotions change or not. If you're single, get the Hierophant. This is definitely a belief in a spiritual question card and also a commitment. Are you ready for commitment? And if you know you make a commitment to this, it almost feels like you're going through marriage. If you're in a relationship, it's the Queen of Pentacles. It almost feels like there used to be things you did together that you created together that have been lost. And now it's like time to find something new to create with. So you can actually, and it could be also money issues or abundance that is the change that is happening in order to find that passion in life again, and whether or not that's there or not. You know, if you guys are both unsure of what to do with your lives, or there's no projects or anything to do, like what's the fucking doing this thing anymore? But I almost feel like there's a reset in that and letting go of the past of where things in the toils of the foils of what happened in the past physically with that stuff. And also the Queen of Pentacles also deals with like attractiveness, you know, doing things is attractive, not doing things is not. Like in the world, you know, and stuff like that. Part of fortune, Capricorn in the 11th house. This is definitely looking at the world that you really want to have and really, you know, the reputation, and also like it's kind of a coming out party. I'll be honest with you. So it's like, do you really want to walk and be seen with this person or not, or re-engage in social situations in a partnership right now? There's a lot of fortune with that, business-wise too. And also, this has a question on those that are dating, if your business lives would work together, and if the people really are the same people. Like there's an emotional part of this to where it's like, you know, if this really is a decision that you're ready to make for what the public is going to understand and what other people are going to like, or if you even feel it's the same path and there's fortune there or not. So
yeah, that's what it comes down to, you know, being comfortable with the path that you're on, being comfortable with the journey that you're on, being comfortable with yourself. You know, so that you can actually be comfortable with your partner. If you're not comfortable in your own skin, man, you're gonna have a bad time with. Doesn't matter who else is around there. You know, you might mask some issues here and there, and the relationship might carry on a bit with a bunch of, you know, false attachments, false information, false emotions, because you can't fully express yourself. So you know, you got to be able to let yourself free. You got to be able to talk to these individuals. You got to be able to. If the ship's kind of going off course, you got to be able to be honest with your partner and say, okay, we've gotten a little haywire here. Things are getting a little squirrely. Okay, what are we going to do about this? Are we still on the same journey? Are we still communicating? Because that can get lost, you know, especially if you go back and it was built on that false emotion, false conversations, and you weren't truly being yourself. You know, so it's times where we have to really find ourselves. We have to find our passion. We have to be able to communicate our love and our truth to these individuals that are with us. But it comes back to us fully. Starts with us always.
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 And if you're not going to do anything about it, then you're screwed. Leo. Is that the last one? Because that's what I got as the last one.
Yep.
Leo's are last. All right, Leo. Let's see what's going on with this love stuff. All this 11th house, all this 5th house, all this 7th house. Leos are definitely in people mode. Lots of people, lots of things with people, friendship, love, all these things. So, all right, Leo, what's going on? Well, you got the Sun card. You got the Justice card. It's a challenge. You got the Lovers overall. Holy fuck. And you got the 5 of Pentacles to get through this. That's kind of a weird one. Well, you've popped up the sun. There's a lot of sunshine right now about love and feeling on your high horse about happiness and knowing that, you know, you can manifest love the way you want to. The challenge here is the Justice card. Definitely, that is a relationship card. It is a Libra card. It also is like trying to understand things and what's going to work on, you know, this side of things or that side, and tilting the scales on, you know, partnerships and what works, what doesn't. And then the overall here is the Lover. So it's like you feel like the energy of the sun and the love is coming together. The way you get through this, the 5 of Pentacles, like being humble and realizing you're not perfect and realizing others are not perfect, and not trying to overly, I would say, you know, take a situation that feels imbalanced in the wrong way too far. You got lots of great aspects here for love. You got a lot of great things, and balance is fairness, right? And justice. Five of Pentacles is like, the humbleness of understanding that, and also not taking it for granted either. But it also is something that, you definitely want to pay attention to on the fairness side, because this is extreme. So I'll give both sides. It is extreme. Like, I've never seen this in a reading yet in 2+ years on this show. I've not seen the Sun card, Justice, and the Lovers like that upright. So because this is like the ultimate that you could ask for love. I mean, you can't ask for more with the Lovers, the Sun card, and the Justice card. I mean, that's like what everybody would want. Those are the 3 cards you'd want. But with the challenge being about the relationship thing, it's like, don't sell yourself short if there is, something that's way out of balance. And the way that you get through that is testing to see if somebody is in their potency or they're in their poor energy. So, and again, not poor, but meaning poor, but help me, I'm poor. Help me, I'm poor. I'm not potent. That's what it means. We're going to see what's going on here. This is some interesting shit here. Sun card. Well, the 4 of Pentacles in reversed. So again, this is a lot of questions like, okay, the Sun's here. There's a lot of positive love, but this 4 of Pentacles here something hasn't fully come into full fruition yet. Because that's what happens when it comes into full fruition. There's the 4 of Pentacles holding on to it tight. But, this is also you determining what you want to light up, what you want to hold on to, what you want to, I don't want to use the word own, but it's the ownership of this light and this powerful and this love. The Lovers came with the Justice card again. So we got 2 Justice cards. We got the Lovers and Justice. At the end of the day, this is amazing. I mean, this is what you really want. But, this is determining that love story and determining what that relationship looks like. And also, if you're in a relationship, where the future's going with your relationship. Maybe there's a huge change here, but there's also this 5 of Pentacles is whether it's your own or it's the other person's. It could be definitely both. Just, a lot of things of like feeling like a victim, or, one of the things I think that we got to pay attention to, the universe is saying to get through this justice, to understand if it's fair or not, is if somebody like really, I feel like burdens. I feel like it's like, is this person burdensome? Are they offering burdens? Are they being burdenish? Do they bring a burden? And are you willing to take that on or not? That's a big thing. And if that really works out for you, because that 4 of Pentacles is unsure about something to complete the whole thing here with the Sun card. Earth element, stability. So it's about the physical reality and how that's going to look for a Leo. One thing about us being Leos, unless we get the way that we want it to look, we pretty much don't do it. So there's a lot here with the 4 of Pentacles reversed in this Earth element, wanting all the physical elements of things to come together. The Taurus realm, the 2nd house, and the finances and the creative things. The 6th house, the reality and how it's going to physically work in your day-to-day life and not get in the way. And then your 10th house, how it works out with your career and your reputation. The divine feminine. So that's going to be the key indication here. Is this a wounded divine feminine energy? Could be in a man if you're a woman watching this, right? Or vice versa. But I think that the way that you see through what is truly the challenge of understanding what is the perfect kind of relationship here that's balanced the most is it embodying the divine feminine? And is it not holding a victim energy, but holding kind of like the energy of like transcending that victim energy, like moving on and not holding on and willing to hold even maybe Leo, maybe you through some things that maybe you thought were victim, but at the end you're not. So, you don't want to be picking up victims right now. You want to be picking up divine feminine energy that's open and resourceful and wanting to connect deeply. Because you're very masculine, and there's the Sun masculine card here. But also this is about what's going to work. Like at the end of the day, it's like, here's all this great energy. What's going to work, and figuring out what's going to work. The shadow card here is the downcast pride. So it's almost like, the pride that you want to have, it's like kind of at a weird spot. It's like, this is a weird thing. Is the shadow with this justice and this lovers, like that maybe you're not seeing the pride come, and it's like you feel like they're not showing pride when really they do, or that you're not showing enough pride or too much, or it's usually always not enough, right? The downcast pride is like, oh no, I'm not showing enough pride. If you're showing up with all the pride, then they're not showing up with enough pride. If you're not showing enough pride, you need to show up with more pride. Like there's some sort of weird shadow that you're the victim. That's going to be how you tell the victim to the sun right there. Like who's showing all the pride and who's not. There's a victim energy there. There's a fear energy. There's a kind of a weird energy there. What's Ganesha have to say?
Oh, Ganesha, what do you have to find?
Guidance, although it had determination, but we'll just throw that. I do too, but the determination and what are your spirit guides saying? And be determined based upon what your guides are saying. Like be determined on what the guidance is from higher ups. Also, maybe you want to talk with some of your, if you're in the spiritual realm, like me, I've got my mentors and stuff like that. But getting guidance from friends, getting guidance from your divine spirit guides, like getting guidance from God, this is definitely a time to get that guidance, and definitely I think that it'll help build determination. If you're a single Leo out there, we got the 8 of Swords, so definitely don't want to take something that would be toxic. If you're in a relationship, Queen of Wands is definitely bringing up like, this is about love, and this is about things that embody the love fully and embodying the love fully, and what is it going to take to be at that place, and where's love going? I mean, this is fucking like Leo's like best reading that it could get. I mean, you got 2 Justice, you got a Lovers, you got a Queen of Wands here, especially for those in relationships or those that are dealing with that. But single Leos out there, you can have that too, and it's just like, don't deal with a toxic situation. So, quite an interesting read there. Got Jupiter in the 2nd in Aquarius. That's kind of interesting. Definitely, you know what you want, although it's going to force you to take different approaches and different ways of accessing what you want, and also dealing with people that have different values in different ways, and seeing that there's a way for a lot of different options and a lot of different ways for things to happen, and to keep your mind open, and to keep that you can have what you want in lots of different ways. So,
yeah, the possibilities are endless, really.
Very much
they
so.
really are. Once we get comfortable in our own skin, once we get comfortable with our emotional state, where we've been and where it is that we want to go, then we open ourselves up to the universe. And I think that that's a lesson that all of us can learn, is opening ourselves up and be willing to learn, be willing to love, be willing to listen to these individuals that are around us, be willing to give ourselves fully and invest in a partner, and fully invest into love, and see what actually comes back in return. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir. And it was a beautiful time with all of you. It's a very big week. It's a very intense time. These are shifty times, and literally mutating times. We all don't know how it goes. Remember, with eclipses, we do not know. It will always blow our minds, literally, in this eclipse cycle. Like right when I thought I knew everything in the last time these eclipses came in 2012, I knew nothing, in my life turned on a dime in the totally different world that I expected. I went from one situation in my relationship to single, and I'm 24 hours notice looking at a Wiener Schnitzel fucking weird fucking spray painted version of it on a fucking weird street in Long Beach, having to sleep on my brother's couch. Like, it just turned your whole life around. So everybody, there's no guarantees. The only guarantee is what the truth is that God's going to show up with this week. And I think that you all have to really take that one in. Zero expectation and zero guarantees and zero expectation of those guarantees that are not guaranteed, and allow the universe to work its crazy radical magic during these times. And I know that a lot of people try to put eclipses down and are afraid of them. And, now everybody's like, don't do ceremonies. Like, we're doing spiritual dance music. We just do it a little different when it comes to it. We're like celebrating. We're not ceremonying. And we're all coming together to celebrate the magic of life. I think that there's too much fear in the world already, let alone now of eclipses. Yes, they're crazy. Yes, they're intense. but it's God speaking. And if we understand the areas in which it's doing and we listen to where the universe is pointing us towards, we always are in the right energy all the time. I appreciate you all. Make sure you check out highvibe.tv. Make sure you check out Purgatory. Also, make sure that you check out, that's definitely Purgatory you're going to want to check out. Go to highvibe.tv for that. Click Purgatory at the top menu. But if you definitely want to see us out, we are out in June 11th through the 14th at Please Don't Trip. There's also a day early pass, which is the 10th, which will be there for the solar eclipse.
It's a music festival with art.
It's music, art, spirituality, wellness, all of it. Yoga. There's so many people. There's so many other great people I know personally that are even doing not only the DJing but also the wellness part. They just we just put that they just put up that flyer today. So
y'all can go and hang out with each other, make some new friends.
Yes, and there are hotels that are pretty close by. Believe it or not, I was looking at the map and I was thinking it was a long drive on 167 from Beaver, Utah. Is that right?
Yep, Beaver.
But it's like 10 or 11 miles or something like that. So it's not that far away. So if you don't want to camp, then you don't have an RV.
Make sure y'all link up out there.
It's not that far.
Carpool. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and we could even set that up in the Leo King High Vibe TV Facebook group too, if you guys all want to try and connect and all that kind of stuff. But it's gonna be awesome. Honestly, we're not doing this to make money. We're helping the promoters out by bringing people there. This isn't about us making money. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
We're literally doing this to just be with people after a year and a half, and we just so happen to be booked for this festival, and it's like the ultimate place for us to be outside under the stars, you know, right after the eclipses, in the middle of a crazy Mercury retrograde, where we all are changing our environments and all coming together to see where these wild times are going in our life. And it's just a beautiful thing. And so if you really feel called to it, definitely check us out. PleaseDon'tTrip.com. Purchase the tickets. We'll be there early on that Thursday. So on the 10th. So there's an early day ticket that you can get. But just put in Leo King in all uppercase, LEOKNG, not but just Leo King. And you get like a little discount or whatever it is. So
PleaseDon'tTrip.com.
PleaseDon'tTrip.com. We appreciate you. HighVibe.tv, though, is number one for everything, where you see us every day, every week, all the time. And we are here all the time, literally. We are with you every day if you're on HighVibe.tv. So make sure you check us out with all fresh new content every day. We're not like those other networks that just keep pushing out like old shit. Every day, new content. Imagine that. If you have not jumped over for the 7-day free trial, where we have a 90% retention rate, 90% of people that join don't ever leave since 2014. So...
And we got a new tarot straight from Australia.
And that's truth. That's that's truth. So
it's true.
We appreciate you all very much. Thank you so much for everybody out there, and thanks for spreading this show. We love you very much. Wish you the best love for you and your life, and you and your love, or you're and your lover this week, and just you and everybody here in our love, even though these are wild times and who knows where it's going to go. I love you all very much, and we'll see you on the next Deep Love Tarot.